this point, and they don't have the new ones that are ready to go in the stores.
Yeah.
So like, if I order one, it'll be a week. And I want to get the base one without the touch bar, but like upgrade the RAM and the hard drive. Top 16, whatever. I was kind of thinking about like just buying just to buy like a Mac Mini for a week and then return it.
Yeah, you can do that.
I've heard they have like an awesome return policy. But I feel bad.
I like spilled water on this laptop like 3 years ago. It was pretty much new, and I had to take it into repair, and it was like 8 days to repair. So they're like, hey, I was like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, oh, you just buy a laptop and return it.
Oh, so you've done this?
No, that's that, but that's just my desktop background.
SpaceX. That's SpaceX.
Yeah.
Stuff will kind of
Kennedy SpaceX. You know anything about blockchain technology that's been coming here from
I do have a slide about the International Space Station I might talk about. That will be
try to be implemented by people in the music industry.
Oh,
Mainly a sandbox.
Well, I think we talked about
I
it.
enjoy
But you know what they're going to do.
I found one job. I gave him a quote. It was just a simple QR reader for a lady who has a cookbook coming out. And honestly, she probably did.
Especially with iOS 10 and QR reader built into the camera.
But she wants an app. I don't even know what the cookbook's for. Like it's for like old ladies or something.
Copywriting is really expensive, especially for
No, just download this app and do this. So like, I made sure to do it personalized. Just let you know they don't necessarily need a dedicated app for this. I gave her, she said she wanted to do it anyway. I gave her a bid for it. She's writing an iOS app to like get back to me.
basically would be applied to
That would be nice.
Not for that, right? They don't want to sell it.
Exactly. I saved that blame.
Anything books, video, you know, like
Honestly, like
even
product
films,
management,
especially
stuff.
because you have all kinds of different rights holders and intellectual property.
iOS contracts.
So every time a film plays
Just,
in a cinema or on
or I just had
or
phone
someone
interview.
downloads it or it's streamed anywhere.
I'll
And everybody in Sony gets paid immediately. And the thing is, I don't know why it's not.
And it all sounded great and everything. I got to the end and he's like, okay, well, we're going to send you over a Swift test.
Well, the thing is that the industry is kind of
He has like a
lot
girl
of
takes me to
especially the music industry. If everybody, the thing is, there's also
They talked to us like 9 months ago about building a staff for them, and they said they wanted it done in like 3 months.
on collective. That's not, you shouldn't have a
Yeah,
collective.
it sounds like whoever they hired to do
Takes
this, it turned
$10,000
into a
on
disaster.
collective royalties and other
Parties
parties.
spending full time now to help
Which they did.
work with those external vendors.
But anyway, it's
Probably because they have a hard deadline.
I bet somebody just told me, yeah. Well,
you
Yeah.
my name is
but I thought the studio sounded sharp, like you wouldn't let that happen.
I mean, maybe the CTO came in after. How's it going? David. Go. Nice to meet you.
I'm Steven. Nice to meet you.
Making sure people get paid.
It's your first time?
It is, yeah.
I think
I've
this
just
one
moved
is
to
pretty
Austin.
much what they did.
Oh, welcome.
Secondarily, R&D.
What brought you to town?
Project for what?
It's actually pretty random. One of my friends from work, he went promoted to out here, and I was like, hey, that sounds like a cool idea. I'll do the same thing.
Oh, awesome.
So,
So you got a remote job?
it's the same job I had before. I'm just working remote now.
Oh, you talked him into letting you work remote, or it was already remote?
It was like
There's more and more of it, but the thing
it was
is,
just a
as far
convenient
as.
time for them to like they're just kind of like letting people be remote. They're hiring a lot of remote people right now. So the people who work in the office, they're like, yeah, you can do remote. You
Only
can.
taking this so far.
That's awesome.
Like, daring to say,
What company is that for?
This should be.
It's for Ultimate Software. It's we're based out in
So
South.
it has, it's like,
Are you guys hiring at all?
often when I
Looking
run
around.
around,
We are not iOS edition.
What other kinds of?
Like, well, right now it's mostly
I just said you couldn't
we're
make
mostly
the
doing
June.
Java on the back end and
July.
July.
Okay, July we're canceling
Yeah,
it.
in
It's on
Angular
July 4th.
version, and we're trying to get them to do React on the front end, so yeah.
Pardon me?
That's not, it's immensely newer though.
Going, good place for the summer.
Yeah, do stuff.
You too? Good?
Yeah, it's good.
About time to get started.
After one time.
Ooh, if anyone wants, you can move closer. I think we're not many more people are going to join today. Thanks everyone for coming. So today, we've just got one presentation. I'm going to give a talk on some modularization code that I'm working on over in my job at Jackrabbit Mobile. That's going to be about 30 minutes, and then we'll have the rest of the hour, another hour and a half, just to hang out and meet some other people here that are interested in iOS development in Austin. So to get started, the kind of title of this talk is UI modules for Parse. Are any of y'all familiar with parse.com and Parse Server? You used that before? Cool. So it's that's kind of the backend that I'm using, and then just using the standard open source Parse Server. And then for the front end, I've been developing some libraries that take care of common UI stuff, and in a way where you can take some of the different components of the library I'm building and put them together and get just a very vanilla looking iOS app that kind of shows you the data that you have in your Parse server, and then lets you go in and customize it to be kind of the app that you want. So for a little kind of introduction, here's the common way that mobile apps use a server. Kind of a main use case is you have your server with a database in it, and then you have various client apps that want to be able to save data into the database and then see all the data that everyone's been updating in the database. And generally right now the most popular client platforms are iOS, Android, and web. And so the way that you move information around those, you can't just like take a row out of your database and send it straight to the client software and expect for the client software to be able to use it. And so the standard intermediary format that has become popular is JSON. JSON is JavaScript object notation. And so what ends up happening is you have the database, and then there's some kind of server code that whenever a request comes in from one of the clients, it'll go find the relevant rows from the server and then translate them to JSON. And then there's some like arbitrariness on how that happens. And then when the JSON gets to the clients, there's arbitrariness again on like what the iOS developer decides, like how am I going to take that JSON and turn it into like my native iOS objects. And same thing happens on Android and web. And that's kind of where sometimes we run into some issues like in developing software, is that maybe then the Android developer decides, in order to do this one set of screens, I need the data to be a little bit different. So they talk to the web developer, who then makes some changes, and then the iOS developer is confused. And so that's like one of the main reasons I really like using Parse, is that neither the server developers or the client developers know what the JSON format is. They just have, they can just modify the schema within the Parse language, and then it takes care of syncing that data to everywhere, and it's got really great rules and standards for making that happen. So that's the kind of the reason they decided to call it Parse, is because it takes care of all this parsing stuff. And so I've gotten a lot of use out of it over the years on lots of different projects. And so it does this, but then it also handles things like pagination, relationships between all your different objects that you're sending around, file hosting, as well as errors, offline storage, and lots of other stuff like user accounts and cloud code. So that's Parse, and then compared to a traditional server setup, which can be more flexible and give you more options for your backend, and so there are reasons why you wouldn't use Parse, but for a lot of the mobile apps that we build, Parse works really well. And these days you can use the open source version of Parse Server. They've got NPM modules, but I found that there's no there's no repository that you can kind of use as your base repository to just deploy. And that's kind of, right now you kind of have to create a new project and pull in some different Parse repositories. And so I made just a pretty simple library that you can clone this and push it up to Heroku, and then just set a few configuration variables in your Heroku dyno application, and then which is explained in the README on that repo, and then that gives you a Parse server. So using this, you can have Parse server up in 15 minutes, and it's ready to go. There's you can already start then developing the client-side applications, and so that's though where it kind of gets harder, because there's not really any there's no easy way to make the client-side app in 15 minutes, and so I was thinking maybe we could get something closer. So maybe we could build like in a few hours just a skeleton of an app, and that's kind of where this goal of this project I'm working on now is to have a lot of the main screens just in a very vanilla, just black and white screens, but having the data be available and data organized in a way where you could kind of get an idea of what the app's going to be, and then go in and fill and flesh out all the parts of the app. And so the way that I approach that is with modules. So modules, the first time I kind of came to or kind of heard of the concept of modules with the International Space Station. So that was, I'm sure most people are familiar with the International Space Station. That's kind of where all the Russian and US and European astronauts go if they're going to be in space for a longer period of time. And the way that they built the space station was they didn't just build in one piece on Earth and then take it up, because it's about 100 meters by 75 meters in size, so we don't have anything that could transport that to space. But they also didn't expect to be able to just take up the materials and build it in space, or that wasn't feasible either. And so what they came up with is, let's build just a pod for sleeping on Earth, and a connector that we can then connect it to another pod or module that can be for for like a kitchen area and a bathroom, and then let's have a lab. And the benefit of that was those individual modules fit into the space station. They can take them up, and they could start off really small. They could have just the sleeping quarters and the bathroom area, and then over time they could build on and bring up specific modules just for a certain experiment. And so I'm kind of trying to do the same thing with these UI modules, where you can have one module for like your newsfeed type of UI. You can have one for your map UI. You can have one for text messaging, instant messaging UI. But the one that I'm starting off with is a master detail module. And so the master detail is, if you look at apps, from the very first apps, the most common UI that you see is just a list of some kind of objects that you can browse through, and then when you tap on one of the objects, it brings in the details for that object. So a really common thing. It's also pretty simple to make that generic and applicable to lots of different apps. So that's what I wanted to start off with. And over the last, I guess, 4 to 6 weeks, I've been working on this, and this is kind of what it looks like when you create an example app with it. And so on the left you've got, and so for this example data, I'm just have like a list of people and just like some example data and like what department they're in, like what they bill for. This is all just example data, and what their skills are and so forth. And so on the left you get the list, and that's just, when I'm creating this example project, all I do is I tell it, this is the class of person is what I want in this list, and that's it. It then goes to Parse, asks Parse what all the people are, and then displays the list. And then if you push on a detail, this master view kind of tells the component library that, hey, someone tapped on this user, or someone tapped on this object, do something with it. And then the library decides, okay, that means in this case, with how I've presented this list, I'm going to push in a detail for that list. And then we push in the details, and it looks like that. So that's kind of an overview of the UI. There's some different buttons at the top that bring in additional functionality, but that's kind of the idea of this module. So diving in a little bit more into the details of what it does support. So it supports the master list. And so in order to get this functionality, all that I had to do was create a person model object in my code, and all I had to do is implement this short description method. So whenever the table is generated each cell, it looks for a short description method, and if your model implements the standard detail class protocol, then you'll have a short description, and that will return a string. So if you wanted to change what it displays in that list, you would just go to your model for that type of object, and you can put whatever you want in there. And if you don't put anything in there, it'll just print like a description of it, which will be like, the like memory address, and then like a description of like what the properties are, kind of just the iOS description. So even if you do nothing, you'll get some kind of representation of your objects. But here's like the first step. If you want to just have a short description, all you have to do is implement your method with a short description. There. So
What language is that?
this is it's an old language called Objective-C, which I'm still using. And this is also kind of built on the Parse SDK, which is all in Objective-C. They do have like bridging headers, so you could write this in Swift, but I have more experience with Objective-C, and it's also easier when you like dive into what their SDK is doing, because the library uses their SDK for everything. That's all in Objective-C, so it's also easier just to keep it all in one language. But good question.
So you just have a table called person in the database?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So there's a person table, and it has all those properties, skills, cost rate, bill rate, and so forth. And but when I'm implementing this example app, all I have to do is just declare what the properties are, and then which is in the header file, and then I could just implement the short description. Then another thing that it supports is sorting. So when you're looking at the list on the top left, there's a sort button. If you tap on that, it brings in all the sort options. And the sort options are also pretty easy to add support for. So here's going back to that same model class, and so this is kind of the thing that I added here. I added 2 sort option objects which describe what the sort options are. And so I just, for the first one, that's the last name sort option. And in there you just specify the key of the model that's going to be sorting on, the display name to use when you're going to display that sort option in the UI, and then the description to use for ascending and descending. So you can, you can set, it'll respect whatever you put in there. So if you wanted to say like low to high instead of ascending, then you could just put that in there, and then the UI would know to use that string instead. And then also with this, you can use localized strings for everything. So if you wanted to support multiple languages, that's where you would put in the localized strings. And then if you don't pass, for example, if you don't put anything in for descending, you just put nil there, then it won't give the user an option to do descending. So that's there. So you just going back to that. So you just create these two sort option objects, and those will apply for ascending and descending, and then you return an array of both of those sort options. So if you wanted to provide additional ones, so this is a person, they also have departments and salaries and all kinds of stuff like that, so you could add sort options for those. But here I'm just doing two sort options. And next up is another thing that this supports is updating. So if you're looking at the details of an object, it's a natural next thing to want to be able to edit them. And so with this standard update UI, right now it supports strings, numbers, booleans, and pointers. Pointers are the Parse's kind of way that they define one-to-one relationships. So those are called pointers. So there's a demonstration of all of those. So if you tap on the first name, for example, it'll bring in an alphabet keyboard, the standard alphabet keyboard. You can do your editing to those values. And if you hit save, it'll save it locally. So anywhere in the app where you're displaying either like a detail screen, or if you're displaying a link, to those details, or if it's in a list, everywhere it'll update that name, and then it'll also save it all back to Parse, so it's in your database. And then if you change one of those, if you tap on the numbers, it brings in a number keyboard with a decimal point, and so you can edit those. And they're the same thing. I'll save it back to Parse and make sure that everything locally, all the views get notified that this has changed. Then we also have a switch there on salary that switches a boolean to yes or no. Back on Parse, and then finally we have a link. This is a one-to-one link, so right now it's showing you what that link is. It's showing you the short description of that linked object, and if you tap the X, then it removes that link, which sets it to null for the link, and then it also will show in place of that label right there, it'll show a set main project button, which lets the user replace that with a different value. So if they tap so they'll bring in the UI will change to say set main project. If they tap on that, it'll bring in the list of all the projects. They can select a new value. So this is a standard update screen, and to get that, you also don't have to do that much code. So to save space, I got rid of the two previous methods that we added for a new one here. So this is the updatable fields method. If you implement that one, that describes which of the fields on the model can be updated. And so here you put in the key for the field, you put in the type, and so for type, like I said, we have string, number, boolean, and pointer. And then you put in the display name that you want to use for the field in the standard update screen. And so right here I'm showing the first name field and the last name field. So if this is the way I implemented it, I would just get those two things to edit. But then if I do the additional ones, I'll get the other fields. So I've got department, billable rate, cost rate, salaried, and project. And so there you'll notice they've got different types. And then for a project, I called it main project. That's kind of the string I want to display to users, even though the key is called project. So that's the standard update screen. But of course, I did want to make this flexible, so you can still, this standard update view controller subclasses the update view controller. So there's an update view controller which doesn't have this table with all this functionality of editing things. It's just a standard one, or it's just the generic one. And if you want to do your you can do your totally own update screen here. You just have to subclass the generic update view controller. And if you do that, you'll still get some support. Like if you hit the cancel button, it'll revert your changes. If you hit the save button, it'll save your changes, and your view controller will still be notified if the information changes anywhere else in the app. But I think for the update view controller, it's like, this is pretty good. I think probably it's going to be pretty rare that someone's going to want to do a custom update screen for information. Yeah.
And when you do the editing, like first name or whatever, it happens right in the cell.
Yes. Yeah. So it brings in.
So you've got a handful of custom cells that you use. If it's just a string, you're going to bring up that. If it's the Boolean, you're going to bring up the one with the switch. It's in your sulfur row. You've got all that.
That's all done by the library. So yeah.
But ultimately, it's from somewhere you've got sulfur row at index path.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're going, oh, this is a string.
Yeah. Yep.
So I can bring up
Yep.
that kind of cell.
Right.
And it's got a UI text field in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And then there's also a standard. There's a standard detail screen. So that's and it looks exactly like this, except it's not editable. So it'll use labels instead of text fields, and then for the Boolean, it'll just say yes or no instead of putting a switch there. And then for the links, it doesn't have an X there. It just shows the full text. And if you tap on a link, it'll actually push in the details for whatever it's linked to. Which is a good transition to the next screen. So here I'm showing how to do a custom detail screen. So the standard one would just have all the field names on the left and then the values on the right. But here I'm showing a custom detail screen where I wanted to have the name and the department. I didn't want to have any field names. I just wanted to show those by themselves. And then the department, I actually wanted to have a little lighter color. That's my great design skills there. And then like on the cost rate, I wanted to have like whether they're salaried or not in parentheses after, instead of it being like a separate field. Bless you. So this is an example of a custom detail view controller, where you would still get all the edit and delete functionality that comes with the library, but you would be able to do whatever you want within the view. And so how do you do that? First, you have to create a nib for it. So, and it has to have a specific name. So it has to be for the person detail view controller, it has to be person detail view controller.zib. So the library will look for that exact name zip, and then it'll pull that into the app at that point. And so here I just configured all the labels the way I wanted them. I put in auto layout constraints, and then I hooked up outlets for everything that I wanted to be able to modify. And then for the view controller, this is all you have to do for your custom detail view controller. So you just have to implement update from object, and this update from object method will be called after view did load. So you'll have access to all the outlets, and it's called whenever the object is ready. So if it has to fetch the information from parse, then it won't. It'll wait to call update from object, so you'll know the object will be ready to use. And also, if the object is updated anywhere else in your app, then this will be called again. So if you've got one tab where you're looking at this detail screen, and then the user goes to another tab and they create a link from that object to another object, then it would immediately reflect back in your view, because this will be called and your view controller would know to update everything. So here I just have kind of implementation for that. For example, on the salaried label, I use the Boolean to figure out whether to put salaried in parentheses or not salaried. And then for the billable rates, I convert the number into a string there, but all pretty straightforward. But you have a lot of control here, so you could put in UI views into your view controller, you could put in a table view, whatever you want, you can put into your custom view controller, and whenever the object's ready and whenever it updates, you always get this call from the library telling you that your view needs to be updated from the object. And then finally, the last use case I currently support with this module is delete. So this comes right now with every detail screen. There's always a little trash can icon, and if you tap that, it shows an alert where you can cancel out of it, or you can delete the object. And if you delete the object, it'll dismiss the alert and then pop the detail screen away. So it'll go back to the list in this case. But if this detail screen is open anywhere in the app, it'll close it. And even if you have also support like the case if you have like two things that link to each other, and you can keep tapping their links and it'll like load in a bunch of them. If you delete any of the objects, it'll remove all of the view controllers in the hierarchy for that object. So you'll know everything gets deleted. And then it'll also support if you are linking to the object you delete from anywhere, it also removes that link. And if this object is in a list somewhere, it gets removed from the list. So kind of takes care of all those cases. And another good thing that I do here is instead of actually deleting it from your server, it just marks it as archived. So if you did want to bring the object back, it's still actually in your database. The components just know to not show an object if it's marked as archived. Yep.
This notifying other view controllers that might have that person on it, so is that Parse or is that your library?
That's my library, yep. Cool, and so then next question is when will we use this? So this is, right now this is just a proprietary library that I'm developing for people at Jackrabbit Mobile to use. I'm hoping to someday be able to kind of provide this as a public library for everyone to use, but right now to justify spending time on it at work, I have to kind of show that it's going to be like something strategically useful for a company. But so for what we're using it right now is, I just gave this same presentation yesterday to some of my coworkers to show them kind of that this is available. So haven't used it for anything yet, but I think with the way that it is right now, it works. I think it would work good for any like company internal tools. Like if you're building, for example, like a way for, like in the example project, for a company to keep track of their employees, that'd be really good. They could just put in the information and all the users would just have edit access and delete access, so that's fine. Or maybe if you're kind of tracking some sales leads or something, that's fine. But I think for a lot of other use cases, I'm going to need to support roles where not everyone can delete everything, not everyone can edit everything. So that's definitely on the top of the list for next features, is making it so that you can delete, you can only delete something, for example, if you created it, or you can only edit, if it's, for example, like a conference app, only the conference admins can change the description of talks at the conference. So things like that, those are definitely going to be coming soon. And so those are going to be necessary for us to really use it on, for it to be applicable to more of the apps that we build. And I'm also thinking marketplace apps would be really useful once I do have those additional things. So if you want to be able to like list something for sale, this would really make sense to use these kind of components for it. And but then aside from using it strictly like this, you can also just use individual components. The way that this is architected, there's always a generic object that controls the view controller, and so it can it's all encapsulated within that. So it's very flexible to use it for other uses. So if you only wanted to have that detail screen, so if all that you care about is just you want to be able to put a view controller somewhere where it just knows if the parse object updates and kind of updates the view controller. You could, for example, if you had a user profile, you wanted to have one tab in your application that's just the currently logged in user's profile, you could just use the detail controller component and put that into that tab, for example. So that's another way that we're planning to use it, and so exciting stuff for me there. Then I've also, this whole time that I've been working on the library, I've been keeping some pretty comprehensive documentation. So I have a list of the current limitations for the library. I have installation instructions and getting started instructions there, as well as a example project for people to use when they're getting started with this library. I also list out for the kind of common things that you want to do. So I explain how you add a model. I have some information about if you want to add a custom cell to the list, if you want to do just the standard cells. I explain how to do a custom detail view, or if you just want to use the standard detail view, custom update view, and the standard update view. So this is pretty much a lot of the content that I've covered today in the slides. And so that's the master detail module. Got some, like I said, some limitations I still need to work through coming up. And I'm hoping that at that point I'll be able to have the module used by some people at Jackrabbit on an actual project, get some feedback from them, see if the README makes sense, and if they're able to use it, what they use it for, what limitations they run into, and hopefully learn a lot from that, and maybe in a few months I'll have some more learnings I can bring back here and kind of share what I've learned to the group. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's it. Does anyone have any questions about anything? Any ideas?
How tightly coupled is that to Parse? Like, are there like hooks if you have like your own backend that you can hook into, or does it use like Parse directly, or? It's not at all designed to be used for anything else, because I like all the standard kind of things that you can rely on with Parse, and so I think you could apply like this. I think you could build this if you're working on your own project with an arbitrary backend and have like a adapter for it, but mine is definitely just built for use with Parse.
What was the first app you were working on that made you like think of like, oh, this framework will help me build apps like this faster? Sorry, I kind of have a cough.
Yeah. Well, it comes from. I've definitely, like I said, I've seen a lot of apps where this is used, and I've also noticed I'm involved with a lot of our like sales meetings that we have with clients, and I've noticed that there's a bunch of like, I think about 6 months ago we had like 2 companies come to us that both were trying to build very similar apps, and they were also they were just kind of like almost like a Uber type app, but for use with trucking companies. And so I thought we could, it would make sense. That was kind of where it kind of started. I thought we could maybe build some kind of single code base that we then deploy individually for the custom needs of both of those clients. And that kind of got the ball rolling, where I thought maybe we could build something that's even for clients we don't even know yet could work for them.
It's awesome. Kind of like an engine that powers
Yeah.
the applications that follow that paradigm. That's awesome.
Kind of a white labeling solution that's like, is that kind of how you envision?
Yeah, that's kind of it, but I want it to be, I think with the white labeling solution, it's usually like a specific use, like it's like event app white label solution, or it's like Uber app white label, where it's like very specific, and the white labeling is more on the appearance.
Okay.
Where with this, I definitely, I'm going to try to
or an important part of it will be the appearance customizations, but the other part is going to be that we do have a wide variety of different industries that we do applications for, and so it needs. So I think we're still going to have a lot of. It's more about just. It's more about just encapsulating just the one part that is the same between different apps and being able to share that between a bunch of different apps, where maybe this app will use 3 modules that this app uses and then 2 modules that this app uses. And that's kind of the idea. Awesome. Well, that's it from yes.
The open source Parse Server.
Yeah.
It's on GitHub. Is it like active? Are people working
Yes. So
on that?
yeah.
It's
So there,
stays current. People fix bugs or add features.
Yep. Definitely, yeah. Yeah, they shut down in January. So they announced January 2016 that they were going to close, and they actually did shut down the service in January 2017. And yeah, there's still a lot of maintenance and updates going on. In fact, they like one of the really nice parts of Parse is they have a dashboard website where you can log in and you can view all your data, and you can edit it. And it's really nice to give to like the customers. Like if you want, you can give them access to edit things, and that they open sourced that. But there was like it was kind of hard to deploy, and it was weird to deploy. You had to have like a separate server just for the dashboard, and I think in like February, which was after they shut down, someone finally like migrated that to where it's just you can have one. It can just be like one route with on the same server as your API server. So as far as I can tell, still a lot of maintenance and updates happening.
Okay.
And people like me are working on well,
So it's not abandoned.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the most like graceful shutdowns of any
Yeah.
product I've ever seen. It's
Exactly.
like told you a year in advance. They gave you like tons of migration solutions.
They
They
open
open
sourced
sourced
everything.
like the whole thing.
Why did they close?
Because Facebook wanted those employees to do something else.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Do you have any support or features for iPad, or were they working?
yeah. So all of the libraries support iPad. So everything's with auto layout, and but it's not. I haven't done any custom things for the iPad. So if you really common thing on the iPad is to have the list on the left and then the details on the right. With this, it's still, if you tap on, the list is full screen. If you tap on something, it'll bring in the full screen details. So it's technically supporting iPad, but it's not.
You can't stick it in a split view controller?
Yeah, don't have that yet. But I think that'll make sense to do. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for the questions, and we're gonna stick around for the rest until 9 o'clock, and feel free to talk to me and ask more questions and meet other people here. And I hope people learn something.
Were any of your, anything on your wish list?
Are you an iOS?
Well, I saw. I wanted that.
It's supporting, not supporting some
I've done some contracts.
Okay.
And so I think that's maybe it's actually like, hey, that cool
Oh,
thing they
yeah.
showed
So
you
you
with the
full-time,
whole
right?
graphic on
Yeah.
the table.
Wow, that's
He's a
awesome.
newcomer, it
Yeah.
seems like.
So,
It makes
a bit of a
sense.
story.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And
Like that looked like I think so.
Yeah.
Norwegian
Quality,
quality.
like real time right
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started using it a lot.
I think it was like,
I didn't have
When we
for
lived
the
in
longest
Canada.
time, I was sure Peter Jackson associated with Magically,
Yeah.
which
You've ever heard of a key school
is
place
still
like?
nowhere,
That's
I
those
guess,
guys.
but, so
Yeah,
they
there's
should
stuff
like,
around us.
take
We
members
all
to
take
the,
pipelines.
The guys are.
port over the show who we're doing
Yeah,
it.
that's where I worked. I've been in there. was in their
Yeah,
idea.
what's
Like the magnitude.
I don't know.
I think I
Started out as a programmer back then.
last year, March,
Basically,
during
my
South
career
by, I saw,
stumbled along
like some,
yeah,
like Samsung gear headsets that had like the Magic Leap on the front.
Oh, yeah.
In 2012,
Yeah.
I
No, no,
this
I mean-
opportunity for us to
Yeah,
move to Norway.
Yeah, the AR stuff.
And I took
Maybe I was-
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about with the hand thing. Leap motion is that one.
You're in
Yeah,
Norway.
yeah,
Leap
it's
motion
supposed to be like,
Leap motion's also
I
just kind of
So what was I gonna do?
project
Like,
idea.
we have an 11-year-old.
Everyone
It's
shows
every day.
But I mean,
So I
yeah,
gotta
it's
do it.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Ever since the iPhone came
I don't know
out,
when where it's
Yeah.
go back to programming. But
Yeah, I can-
when you have kids and
a lot of
all you
AR
have
stuff.
is a
I
few
know.
hours of it, it's hard to make any kind
Yeah.
of
They have
where
ones where
it's
you
already.
manipulate
This was my
stuff,
opportunity.
which I'm sure is
Yeah.
some kind of-
Well, like it in terms of days.
I can't even.
You
Norway
grab
was
something
learn
that you can
how to
pull around instead of power lens, which is a single tap. And,
I even
yeah,
had some budget.
and I don't know what
for
happened. I saw that they're live streaming their AR
Okay.
session
So I used
right
that
now for
budget
people
and I
to
hired a
see, so I'll have
tutor.
to check that when it's done.
Eventually
Man, it
went
looks
to work
great.
for
I'm
like
excited. I found some
for a little
like
while afterwards.
tutorials.
And then anyway, Norway finished.
Absolutely,
We
like
thought we were
play
coming
with
back to
it,
Canada.
put into
Yeah,
our
I was gonna go back to
Well, I was thinking I was just gonna make a iPad.
right? Yeah. So you
The company
take
ended
your
up
augmented
using
reality
it
thing,
for
and then you make a
another
cardboard
27
app.
months down there.
So then any cardboard viewer can basically
So
see like
I
a
worked
HoloLens
for,
thing right there. Using
finished
their
off that
iPhone.
one
And I'll try
contract,
so
and then I
much
worked
to
for a
get
company
the glass.
Can you do like an iPad from?
And we thought we were gonna move back to South
I
Area.
saw somebody do a Kickstarter.
That didn't happen when we moved here.
Gosh, that was
Yeah.
terrible.
That's what you asked me.
It's
So,
like your iPad, right?
yeah,
Right.
the
But
easiest
if
thing to
you
do
just need something like this,
is we
that's
move around so much, just to do
the
my own.
industrial design components
I haven't
that
been
you
been trying to use.
can rearrange. You know, they
So
showed
what do
me
you-
highlighted chips and things.
I'm making my own.
Oh, you're on that?
Work.
Yeah.
And from then it's like rearranging batteries and cameras and
I've,
stuff. So who
two-
knows,
three on the
we'll
store.
have some kind of
And
heads
Oh,
display
okay.
thing.
none of
Now
them,
they-
the first two, they were just, here's how we do it.
Oh,
And
but I
And
mean,
then
I kinda call them
they-
resume
And
access.
they
So,
said
you
that
know,
they were
it's
using
looking
kind
for
of
it. People say, oh, you gotta have, you know, wow. So I had
brings out more
I
light
kept them current.
on,
not so much.
for Moore's Law, so you could,
One of them was called
like they had more
2016.
gates.
I
And
know
so
a bit
you
about
can get like,
photography.
like a 75%.
I was sort of an enthusiast.
So you do the same thing with
2016
3 times less power.
An exposure calculator.
Alright,
Yeah.
so maybe make our
If you
batteries,
ever-
anyway, it's good stuff.
If you ever, as a kid,
Yeah.
looked
Yeah, cool,
inside,
yeah. That looks really cool too, like, since I do voice recognition, not voice
when we used to buy
recognition,
film.
recognition,
Oh,
and doing the transcript, I was kind of crossing my fingers,
So,
seeing if there was a list of
2016,
1 minute limit on our speech
I wonder
framework.
because
right now it's good for like voice
called the
commands,
Science 16.
but not much else.
It's real
in
simple
apps.
Another
to explain.
Yeah,
the
the voice
basics.
acting, you can do like quick
There's
notes.
a lot of combination
or
permutations past this. So
really custom voice
assuming you're in
commands,
breaks,
like text adventure style voice
It
commands.
your
does.
film
It
speed
does,
is
audio
100.
So it does video,
Set your shutter speed
audio
to
file
the reciprocal.
transcription.
Yeah, yeah.
So 1/1
Because like
seconds.
cut up your audio
And your
file.
f-stop.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
really
not
awesome.
16.
See, and they never give
Guaranteed
you hard
to have a
limits about
perfect
like
delivers.
if someone wants to
Yeah,
record a
it's just the way
45-minute
it works.
session.
But what if I don't want it
I
at
think
16?
that would be
If I
such
want
a terrible
it at
hack,
2.0?
especially if it
It's
stops at work.
hard to remember, oh, going this way,
So
go
just
this
like,
way.
Your phone.
But anyway, I've been using
In the old
Apple
days,
Watch,
yeah,
and
before
my
there
app
were
right now does that,
light
where you
meters,
can just record and let it
Professional
go
photographer.
indefinitely, but I was hoping for some
Carrying
advice,
around a binder.
medical professionals,
That's all the
more sensitive.
combinations
That's
of
all
permutations
all there.
Tables and
So
film
I've been working
speed
with the
and
GitHub
height,
group
you know,
that's doing
and
recording like
lighting
Sphinx
conditions.
library from the software from
and
Carnegie
that's
Mellon, and putting it in a Swift wrapper.
It's
So that seems
complicated.
to be.
Yeah.
So basically, this
Right.
app just implements that whole binder on one.
Yeah, and so they also use CMU Sphinx and they have their own library around it. And
Yeah.
so their
Yeah,
basic
that's awesome.
stuff
Tells you-
is free,
tells you
but
exactly,
things like
uh,
Rapid Ears, which is the live
And we
transcription.
haven't
is like
updated
a
it
big
in
license
quite a long
and stuff,
time.
yeah. So anyway, with the Swift thing, that's closer to the chase.
We'll give you a free.
But I was looking at the core ML documentation, and it looks like they'll, let you take an open source model that's been used and see these things, it's like a ton of like tar zip files.
Straightforward.
And you can port
So,
it, they have like instructions, you know, like how to port it over to
Yeah,
another
you
model.
save the life of it, and
All right,
so
you can
instead of,
roll
it
my
comes
own
sent
version
to
of Pocket Songs, which is the
bright sun.
tone down like so,
Um,
all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
All
then
kinds of cool stuff.
And
you'll
they do
get
really
a
cool
perfect
stuff.
exposure.
Like the demo
Assuming your
started-
ISO is
Yeah,
Like, it's like stuff that
Shutter
seems
speed
like
100,
only Google can do
that stuff
that.
Yeah.
that's
But
60
they're like doing it on
configuration.
Yeah, no,
So
on
That's gonna
device
give you a
Yeah.
perfect
So
exposure.
anyway,
is
the app
legit,
is
But
that's a great.
People really like
That's a
this
great differentiator.
plus minus.
Because when enterprises, they.
Well, and Apple's
Highlight the guides here.
Yeah, since they're terrible at that.
They say
Override,
privacy is the reason, but really they just
couple of
can't.
stalls. You know, that's
Let's just put it on the
Most people
device,
will
it's fine, don't worry
do
about
this in
it.
contracts because
But,
cameras.
so if you're an enterprise
really
company,
like,
and you need to
most
purchase
people
500 tablets,
even when they buy the
and you're
big
worried about
expensive
like data getting out of stuff,
they just use the
that's gotta
lighting.
be a big draw, to have everything contained on your deal.
It sells about
Indexed.
5 to 10 a week.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Oh, no, I
all over the
like
world.
it. I like their.
And every once in a while,
Yeah,
there's
there's
this
a lot of
burst.
Heroku
Like
apps,
in
they have
a
like
week,
a-
it'll sell.
No way.
I think there's some photography instructor who likes this. He's never emailed me. But he teaches a class or something, and then there's this spike in sales.
Yeah, maybe they'll
I mean,
filter it in.
whether it makes $8 a week or $16 a week, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
If they integrate.
This is a
iMessage
resume.
apps, you
Yeah,
could have like a
so
complete Snapchat clone and an iMessage app.
I just keep it up to date, make sure it
Face
runs.
swaps,
And
and
the
no
latest
more, you've
OS and
got
stuff.
masks and filters, and now
And
they've
if it's
got the
gonna be a
higher level
resume app,
APIs that'll let you like
people,
get all the face
I don't know, an employer would
indices
want to see
and real time.
it.
Right, so,
One.
man, a lot is there.
And then,
So, yeah.
A lot of eyes.
yeah, but the
I
other
played
one
thought of 8 projects, which.
it's called Paddles Up.
So little time.
I
I keep wanting to pitch a skunk works
Do
to
you know
my
Dragon
company.
Loading is?
Just let me do crazy
Yeah, I've never
things.
heard of that.
Ah, what's that?
Well, it's an ancient Chinese thing, and it's basically an enormous canoe with 20 paddlers.
Maybe
in it.
yeah,
That's
the
it.
watch or something.
It's free, but I mean,
Background recording.
it's a lot of work to get it set up. You kind of have to be a coach to want
Because I
to.
put my
Oh,
little
okay, I would-
regular
Don't-
recorder
I would get
app.
messy.
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't cost you to download it.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's actually-
there's nobody in the roster
Yeah, so I was
for you to
recording
write.
full.
It's like a hit.
Because as a recorder, like I would be up there and your phone recording, then you
Yeah.
would go phone.
So anyway, it helps the Dragon Boat coach.
But
I
you
just
just point like this
Is
as
that
the person you're
different
talking
than
to.
Now you just hold up your watch.
That's rolling.
Okay, right.
This is paddling.
So paddling is.
Paddling, you're looking in the direction
Track
that
your
you're
steps.
going.
Got it.
And so it's a big canoe with 20 paddlers.
All I need is like one little $5.
And there's a drummer and a steers person.
Send all these text messages to everyone.
It's better than
It's a
home
bit of a
office.
challenge to be a coach.
That's all I say. Man, that's a bad.
Hockey coach,
Well, there's
they've got
like
one, however many lines of.
There's
AirPods.
AirPods.
To keep track.
AirPods.
There's only 3 people.
You're fine, because you always
And they
call
know
those
who's
things
going on
AirPods,
next.
right?
Yeah, it's easy.
I
Easier
thought
to do
it's
it.
a cool interface.
You have
Yeah,
to deal
yeah,
with 20 people at a time doing one thing. It's a lot harder.
Like, seriously,
You
you
went
would
out
have-
browsers
I didn't miss what with that.
I don't know. I mean, I want one.
I can't just throw you in
Buy
there.
one, but.
You know, if you're a beginner, I'm gonna put you somewhere else.
External video card.
Really good paddler, I'm gonna put you somewhere
Yeah,
else.
like they're $600
Maybe
VR.
you reach longer than most
Yeah.
people, so then I gotta worry about
That means I
who's in
could
front of you and
Like
all that stuff,
this
so it's
guy, plug in
complicated to,
external GPU and
and
stuff.
the way it's
It
a
was
big
nice of
deal.
them.
Yeah.
That they said you
Okay,
could
well,
buy,
I
when they demoed all the
Yeah.
VR stuff, that was just on
No,
on
Yeah.
the new iMac, but it wasn't even on the iMac
Yeah.
Pro,
So there's,
it's nice
there's a
that
line.
there's got hardware that can do VR stuff without buying
And it
the $5,000 to
tells you your
$8,000.
weight here, you don't want the boat swinging like this.
What is it, 120?
It shows you
I'm sure they
balance
have
there.
20,000.
Quite a bit of a balance there.
In And all of that before we've even hit the Mac
That's the
Pro
person preferred.
next year or the year after.
This person doesn't care.
Yeah,
They're bringing on the left for you.
They had,
So
because
you
they
put
were,
me on
they
this
were
side,
trained
you
on
put me
making
on
a
this
Mac
side.
Pro. They were like, oh, the iMac
So
Pro is interesting.
now I'm gonna try to balance those both, and I get these now dragged
So that's why they
down.
had that, like.
And
Yeah,
so
everybody was thinking they're
these
like,
two people
Yeah, like we had the
don't
iMac Pro
compare
and then we were
what
gonna do the Mac
side
Pro.
they buy. So I'm gonna
I'm
drag that, and you can see it's
on
almost
the old, the like most recent model.
live dragging.
4 years old one is that
They're
the
Then I'm a
thermal
little
core, right?
closer.
I'm like,
That's
how in the
right.
world can you not figure out the thermal core for that, but you could for an iMac?
Yeah,
Hoping
it's
that
not
Oreo is a little more
a
than
customizable machine, like,
Well, that's right, which is why they're going.
which is why they're gonna make the
Yeah.
Mac Pro. It's not so, I bet the specs are gonna be
Oh,
great
that's
for a year or
too
two.
much now.
But then down the line, you'll wanna be like,
Gives
oh,
you
I
a
wish I
line
could
of
have this
history
mod.
of
And so
Yeah,
maybe with like
if you're
Thunderbolt
too strong on
4,
one side, you can go
they'll
outside.
have
Right.
some crazy
Well, that's
express
part
thing,
two.
you can just pop it in
Yeah.
and it'll be.
So anyway, the
equivalent
coach gets to
of,
play with it, so they
actually
can move
putting
people
it
around
under
in
the
the boat.
But yeah, there's no way they're gonna have the same problem with the iMac that they have.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool, that's a fun.
This is the,
Yeah.
that's the key
But
feature
still,
in this app.
Nice
You
looking
found a
machine.
really cool way to visualize it
That's
too,
good
and
stuff.
that's gonna be tough.
So that's just
I'm
a
gonna be
collection
really
view, are you
well
on iOS
Yeah,
program?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's just a collection view.
My nights and Germans
Kids
project.
mentioned their own piece
Mac
of-
Pro got
It's
like really well.
How much is it taking?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, they love this part,
Okay.
this is sort of the key
Flying
feature.
there,
Yes.
everything.
Nice.
That'll
Then the other part is.
I'm thinking in a few
Dragon
years,
Boat
yeah,
Software.
for the
Right,
indie
somebody could also
developer,
buy you an iMac Pro.
And they race.
for the indie
So then the
developer
other
in me,
thing-
that's like,
Where
all
this
I
app
can
makes
do
it a
is
little
like
bit
watch the
more
session
for
for
in-app purchases
Well,
for
yeah,
festivals.
last year,
Yeah, when you download it, it's just one free test.
And
And you can check it all out, see how you can organize your bases, line up for each multiple teams, have a women's team, and a men's team, a mixed team. Whatever
Yeah,
else, you
if
can
I,
manage it all, you can keep
I'll
track of
hit you
your
up if I figure out
competitors,
a nice
and see
little
how,
demo app
if
of,
who's got the fastest time in the 500 meter or whatever. So that's all in there where this makes a little bit of money. But do you know any Dragon Boat mods? Because there's only like a couple of them around the world.
What's that?
So this app's never gonna make any money either.
Yeah,
That's something that was like, oh,
Well, it's had thousands of
I gotta have my
downloads.
split
Most of
view,
those
I
are
gotta
from
have my
travelers.
drop
Yeah.
support.
That then realize, oh, this is for coaches.
Yeah.
We make it pretty clear. I'm
If you
absolutely
use a lot of
coaches.
the.
I think they're just checking
There's
for
virtues
it.
inside the brain.
Yeah, I suppose, but not in this one. We'd have to really change.
I saw.
So like, I guess if you have like, if you like share a file.
Yeah, you might
already
have
have
a
that,
monthly
then
subscription.
it's
And that's,
automatically
we're thinking of doing
Yeah, I
that.
think it's like a nice version of that UI
I have a
document
partner
picker.
in
You know how you can like
There's
import
a
files
whole server
like
component
Dropbox
of
and
this
Google
guy,
Drive
because you
already there.
can email them, I can email
So
that
I
line
got
up
that
front,
so
for
maybe
example.
it's just a little
Once I can send an email to some of
delegate methods
those
and
people on the roster,
your sets.
for example.
That would be
So you could do like a web load for
Yeah,
like a team management site.
yeah.
I guess we
But
could
there's,
pay
that's,
for
this is
quite a
pretty
while.
limited as far as potential.
give somebody.
Yeah, they said
I mean,
50% of retailers love Apple Pay, but
And then
I'm surprised
Last-
at
last year I was
Apple
approached by
Pay,
someone
like,
who
full
had
English,
Alex
that like
Anonymous,
English
worked
diner,
for 26
down the
years.
road from
You don't
me,
know when you're in
they
a
do tiny greasy spoon deal and they do Apple Pay. Like so many things, even if they just
When you're in
have
that
the
role,
symbol
you're
for
the
like
sponsor.
wave in the
If
card.
I'm the sponsor,
Like,
you're
I
the
feel
neutral,
generally
you're called the sponsor.
Apple Pay.
the company I'm at now,
So,
they used to do
Starbucks
like
She came to me with this
to have it,
idea.
and not just in their app. I thought for a while,
She was using
I thought it was
notes,
just
calendar,
in-app purchase kind of a thing.
other apps, just like track of all of
Apple
her.
we were doing the
sponsors.
programming equivalent of things like.
So she wanted an app.
Register.
Yeah, like a year and a half, but.
That's
And I did a little bit of market analysis. There's one app,
Yeah, really
that
Yes, it was like.
version 1 not updated in like 6 years. Abandoned,
Yeah,
it was like $8.
But piles of your
Yeah,
piles
it was
of things
ugly,
that I don't have to.
all of
They
that.
want to
So
put my money to Spain before.
she said she, because it was been 6 years, she had lots of people that she was gonna be able to market this, she was gonna be able to blog
So that was
about
like,
it.
Nice step, or I guess you get to put on that card,
We
right?
just had this verbal agreement.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally
I said, I'll do it for you, I'll do all the work, and we share.
I wonder, how do they,
Yeah,
so
like,
how do
actually
they
thought
get
about
it
now.
from your
Like,
bank account?
It
Like,
was
if you have no
kinda
money in your
like
Apple
this
Pay,
thing,
where did they
like-
get the money if you're sending?
I don't, to this day.
Probably just like debit card.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
so I guess it won't work if you only have a credit card?
Not sharing half, that's like this, you
Yeah,
want to
you
be
can't-
4%.
Oh, yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, my brother's
I
already
remember.
I have this thing on.
And it might be like
It's
your
like-
credit
it's
card,
terrible.
but
yeah.
it's like 3%.
She doesn't do it hardly any at all.
Man, there's gotta be some
Design.
kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, I can also
That's
just
really
read
good.
it, but I haven't done that yet.
some kind of limit
And
on
so
that
she
thing, right?
basically just
I mean,
walked away.
Yeah, they
Is
have
there-
monthly.
And
Oh, I
Okay.
for Apple,
No, that's-
for Venmo,
I
so-
certainly don't know anyone who's sort of
Fair amount of money because
big in it, or their name is,
Oh,
who they
okay.
want to
Yeah,
talk
I think it's like
to.
2,500.
And I've been trying to market it
Yeah,
myself.
it'd be nuts if you
No,
go
it's
up
a
to,
really-
like,
like,
leasing
I'm
office
loads,
and
like,
Apple
large amounts of data.
As an organization,
It's not as, I
apparently
can't show you, but
Didn't
like.
you? So what's left?
Like,
So-
getting away with it.
peer-to-peer, then you need like automatic deposits.
Yeah.
And pretty soon, Apple's your
I can
bank.
just say like,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
I mean, with a little intermediary.
I just
Well,
don't-
And also,
think there's enough potential
Yeah,
for
it
them
is.
to launch.
What's
I
that?
was thinking about the watch,
You got it in the hands.
because you can use the watch, the Apple Pay on the watch without like a.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Whoever that.
That definitely,
You
he
can just like
definitely.
take someone's money.
Guy.
When I put it on the store,
Okay, yeah.
Watch to watch.
we were still sort of in this
I always wanted
together,
to fist
and
bump
I was pretty convinced that she was gonna be able to market this thing.
But
So
now
it's
it's
for $2.99.
Hang on.
even if it
In
is
the
like
way,
timeline,
like,
you'll
you also
filter
add
it, it'll take
analytics.
it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's almost ready to get out.
It's getting lots of visits.
There's
for
a
change water training now.
Swift
Yeah.
peer
It's
group.
easy.
You don't know?
and it's
Oh,
not-
really?
Their thing?
You can
And
only
then
reach
we had our falling
Oh,
out.
didn't
I
you
thought,
do
well,
that?
like, you
Yeah.
can market this.
With-
Switch to a
There's
new
no copy
purchase.
now.
Where
There's
the
no
app
copy
comes
bought
with
in
one
any
sponsor.
Jones.
They redid it.
And then
it's
each
about
one
24/7.
had more.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
99
gotta get.
cents. So you can
Yeah,
try
I
out the
went to
whole
one
app
of those,
for
but
free.
I just had a
It's like
scheduled
the
thing,
one
so I had
that's
to,
not anymore.
you know,
You just
you know.
And I get
But
these
it's-
downloads
I
when I,
mean,
the moment I made it free, the downloads
Yeah,
is
no,
now
it's like
exist.
a nice.
Yeah, I did go
Yeah,
some
just
2 weeks ago, but I didn't
You know,
go to the
I
other
can
one.
see that.
I can see that.
Every Thursday.
Yeah.
And
there's only
there's
so
enough
much
downloads, but no one's
Oh,
gotten
really?
the
Really?
Wow.
purchase.
But are they using it?
It's pretty cool.
Well, they only get one.
I've been like looking to see if, how long
I
it's
know
gonna
the
be
full they have is
for
one sponsee, and you
Swift
can't really
to
change
do,
the
like,
name of this
C-level
person later.
That's
So,
Because I heard that
Break down
ATC
the
podcast
reuse
by
it.
Chris Latner when he was
Yeah.
I
on.
don't know, maybe that'll come after a while.
I had no idea
Yeah, I'll
that
see
he
how they do
wants
that.
like
So my
Swift
next,
to become
the
the
next thing I'm
version
gonna
of
do
C
is
and C++.
is I'm gonna make it free.
And Swift. That would be, I don't know why you
Just
would
see
do
if
that.
that, how that
Like,
goes.
you have to come up with a whole Swift operating system and figure out how
And then you have
I was
unstable
worried
charge
about-
works.
It seems like he has like a pretty solid plan. He's like from the beginning,
This
he forget
person.
exactly what it is.
So,
But it's gonna be a while.
These other
It
apps,
says like
Yeah,
five,
like,
or
you can see
like
how
10
they're
years down the road.
under
Yeah.
marked
I
as
know
a signature
they
software,
already have a
which is
lot
my
of
partner
like
is
like the
Gallagher.
unsafe stuff.
But I didn't want to do
I
those
used to-
where
Yeah.
she would come say it's.
So I came up with a
So I created my
class
own
for a
following.
function
So paying an $9 a year
that converts
just
like
to have some
AIF
sort of
and
certification
MP3 and import
And it
into
didn't make
WAV.
nearly $100.
And so, yeah, like change
You create your own
impressions,
My one last sort of cut it.
the whole bit.
Make it free,
Yeah.
put
One of
ads,
the
see
tricky
if it
things
makes
in
it
there was
$100
figuring
a
out
year.
how to do
So I can keep it on the store and
Point
not
on the
be
data
on a
and just-
losing process.
Yeah, I think we're gonna sit trying to help with that stuff into like.
You've done it, you're right, you go back to the mall.
Hey, like,
Sure,
this
yeah.
world,
Also,
this
it's
is
not
like
that
being safe
financial
and
option.
then
Yeah,
have
Make sure
So
there's
for
a
most
APM
social
like,
media.
It's just like mobile.
I saw one guy, one blog post was
Yeah, like usually it's a
4
big
things
one.
that every
Yeah.
iOS or sound engineer
Well, you should.
That's
software
also
person
weird.
should
It's
know.
$1 million.
Common mistakes. Like,
Yeah.
you can capitalize on that.
Since
Don't
these
yeah,
use
are
right.
super
Swift
specific
and
audience,
audio programming
I wanna
ever.
make sure that
This was
there's
like,
no ads
in
for
there,
public
they all
cards
call,
or whatever.
they call
Can I-
lock,
can
they
I-
call
you
locking
can
at some
block.
point, like, like Octafred.
By sort of category.
And so,
Okay.
well, that was the big complaint, is that as soon as you do something dot something, there's like momentary
I
lock.
think everything except the
You can
alcohol
get
and the drugs
12
and stuff to be.
the data. And
So
so it's not helpful, so it's
They don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's not gonna go.
It's gotta
well.
keep productive.
Be like, hey, you're not done with
But
it.
no, that's.
No, yeah.
weird.
I can't.
You know what's
Yeah,
also
like-
cool about Swift
Yeah, I
right
tried to
now?
tell someone.
Is the
Like,
playgrounds,
I
the
think it was
robots. Like, I don't know about little kids, but I totally wanna buy like a Mindstorm kit from Lego
I feel
now.
like it's going,
And
it's
like
going
write
to,
up some Swift to make
to
robots
construction.
do.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of building.
Like
you
how
know,
crazy would it be if
I need a
I
building.
built
You work on building, right?
but a lot of kids,
So
like,
we
feel
really
like
like
programming Swift to program robots.
Yeah, it's like,
It's kinda dangerous.
Okay, it's, where's the line?
It makes it,
you know, like, it's like,
more deep.
like, I could.
Because you program them with computer vision and some other stuff. Pretty soon your robots
And then
will
all
pick
these
up
like
from the garden.
Yeah.
Then you've got a swarm of Legos doing all of the
Yeah,
farming.
a lot of
And,
there's like security.
There's
There's
so much
so much
stuff.
stuff.
It's
If you want
terrible.
a real high, just like a real good, you know,
Too many possibilities.
enterprise.
Every.
And I think that's what they want.
Seriously,
Yeah.
somebody
They
should
want
make
to
the
support
Ford is
that.
Lava game.
Who's
It's
this?
a scene kit.
Yeah,
And
unless you're
it
shipping like,
like map out floors, have little safe spaces where you can like jump on there and be like, oh crap, like lava
Yeah.
flows in from the side.
Alright, you can just put that in the
How
app
cool
store.
But they don't want anyone else.
So my house thing is like,
And so if you have
Yeah,
that
me
person
too.
app,
That's a race.
I guess you can.
Downloading iOS 11. It's cool, I've got a couple more.
But there's not
ideas.
much.
I got
Yeah.
ideas.
Truck.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
I just saw like,
It's just like,
Okay.
maybe there was some sort of
you buy
ground that
some
there's
lava
no there
assets
for their
from Unity
At
or
our
something.
peak, this
well,
last 2 hours, just like it.
surely there's a
Yeah.
trade-off, and then you
Yeah.
convert that to an
Weird, that's a
SC
weird
mode.
face.
Does their AR stuff like have
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
I think.
that's one of the things I'll need to check in the live stream. It gives you
Yeah, it's
level
tough.
space.
Mom and pop shop.
I don't know
You know, you
how
make a
far it
website, they've
stretches,
seen
how
what
far it can
websites look
stretch.
like.
Like maybe it just detects like, yeah.
You can pretty much match the expectation.
I mean, it showed like in the demo, like it, well, it was
Yeah,
at the
like,
table
yeah,
and it
so-
also showed the floor.
Like,
Like you could see like down below it was also scaling for points down there. Or at least maybe it wasn't in the regular presentation, but it definitely was in the state of the.
Yeah.
One thing
yeah.
that I noticed is that when they were doing the really cool demo with like all the spaceship crafting, like some of the stuff crafting in the background, it looked like time crafting when it like
And that was-
like it would like go down. So it might have been.
And there's that guy that jumped off. Jumped off the table.
So
Yeah.
to make things even cooler, in the floor's lava
Yeah,
game,
it's got like
you have to have lava cascade off the table.
Name your app, that's gonna be
Like you
that.
start on a table,
And
the
there's your
volcano asset comes up, lava pours out, and then you have to like stand in safe spaces.
You got one starter.
Yeah, that's.
What happens if you step in the wrong?
Then you have augmented
Yeah.
reality of your body catching fire.
But.
Things get really
Just come all the way up and then.
yeah, flames fill the game. Oh my gosh, it's done. It's
And they just do it for.
shard.
Yeah, like,
It just says
I have a buddy.
Same thing as in Minecraft when we set one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But.
I'm not sure.
Clears
Is
out
that
the-
a hackathon? Is that just like,
I think
organic?
then
Here's
from then on, it's a text adventure game
Might be
in the
worth
afterlife.
Goes home,
And
there's a
then
little
that
bit
would
of,
help.
like,
Until you
starts
Yeah,
going to
figure out, okay,
networking events,
this
there's
is
someone like,
extra,
hey,
I gotta
like,
get.
you know, try to start a company, like,
Yeah,
look you in.
Yeah.
He just, yeah, he barely knows any iOS, but he's,
Yeah, it was a really big keynote.
yeah, he's like one of the,
It's
Not necessarily like.
either the only
Oh,
other.
like, there were some really some developers.
You know, so he's just like standing right.
So, but
yeah,
his value's
Oh, fun things
Don't
in the
put
state of
Yeah, so
Unity.
he, I mean, once you make it
Wireless
past a year or two,
So, like,
Development
Free.
for
Yeah.
extras. You don't have to plug in,
Yeah.
which is wonderful for me because when I
So,
wanted to
and
debug
this app,
how my app handles headphones while you're recording,
what's,
you can't do
yes,
it,
yeah,
but it's
it's like
also
here's your
plugged
main
in by
list.
lightning.
Most people only go like 5 or 6
So now I can
together,
run the
but
debugger and plug in my headphones.
See,
at the
this
same
this is
time.
where they
So,
started out, and then they wanted to do someone with
Yeah.
Abraham.
things that they eventually got around.
You know, there's some detail.
They also have screen recording
Where
now.
Yeah, which would be great for making your app.
Would there be one of
Have
those?
one, have it stick through the bottom of the list.
Yeah,
They
we're
are
curious about it, more
Screen
valuable.
recording?
Oh, really?
You know, like with iOS, you take a screenshot, it like sits a thumbnail in the corner with the screenshot, like, it's like on top, and you can edit
Oh,
your
sorry,
screenshot.
yeah, I did see that, yeah, I didn't.
To get
Yeah,
started,
And they do, and they have a QR code in the camera. So if you're just using a normal camera,
I
there's a
thought
QR
they said, did they say that was only for children?
No, they just,
So could I make-
especially wanted to say that.
Yeah, that's why I was really.
Yeah,
so
users
it's
are
like-
like
it's
to
from
make
the
$100
podcast apparently, like,
This is like
Oh,
I don't know how much time
I'm
I
not
should
sure.
visit. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, and then you jump
Yeah, I'm
into
trying to
it.
like look
Because
at
apparently WeChat,
It's easy.
like instead of sharing links, kind of the whole thing,
I think it's the
for
highest
so
rated
much of
one.
China's like,
It was like
you
built
type in
24
QR
hours.
code, or that's what I've been doing.
You play
And
for
it's-
Well, because they don't have
Harry,
their,
Well, there's an app where
their character set.
I've been messing
like,
with
conducive
Rob
to
person.
domain names.
in fact,
What does that mean?
The iOS 10 developer course.
it's,
Yeah, I didn't think that.
there are these tiles.
But,
and
So it's like ton of
two-
content.
So I think that's why they were
two-
adamant about saying, hey, China, I know we haven't had any growth there, so
Maybe
here's some
QR codes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot
That
of
will
them
be
are like,
great.
yes, you know.
That's cool, you guys.
anything to get you into your WeChat.
That's
They're like lessons, right? So like,
Gosh.
you'll have
So
an
we
app.
Yeah, I saw a video of like all the stuff you would do in WeChat from like,
You know,
like
so
business, like there's like business lists, crazy.
You do something
So there's like a like coupons
Yeah,
and
yeah.
QR codes and
Apparently you can pay other vendors from WeChat.
Kind of do
They
it.
pay
Yeah,
You leave it in the back burner.
They already
Yeah,
have
no,
like
no,
that.
yeah.
you can like order, you can like order pizza and
the
the
best way
chocolate.
to do it. It's like,
It's just,
I think you can even order Uber in WeChat.
it's like the whole Facebook thing, but it sounds like they added a payment structure to it. So that all you really need is WeChat and your devices.
That's what I
think it
This
is.
is how many
These educational courses, like the way it
WeChat
works
is your operating system.
But yeah, it's,
36,000.
hey, sure.
makes all the
If you
money.
play a full
The,
game,
You
um,
know, because everyone just
oh,
wants.
also fun little thing for Parse
So the demand
JSON.
driver.
They show like download the JSON in a line, and it automatically made a Swift object.
And so then he's
Out of it?
like definitely.
Is that?
we had talked about
Is that
it too, like we had our website.
Four?
and we
I
had
did
something
five,
on the
or
response to this,
that's what
like,
four said, I think.
We had
So,
The-
yeah,
audience to get free
suffice to say,
downloads, free start.
it's a bunch.
I just saw a screen capture, it was like you download, you make an API
I read
on
years
your
ago.
JSON,
Yeah.
and say it's like an array, or I mean, it's a JSON object, and the first thing is
Same
a
Commerce website.
The big thing was,
They're all
so forth, an array.
Oh, yeah,
You can access it by doing like true dive. So like you don't have to parse into your own object.
If they hit it the right time.
It makes that a fully fledged object for you.
Yeah,
I know.
You know, they check out, but there's, you know, skill share.
Like,
Anyway, if you
JSON
hit it just right, yeah, you can-
and serializing
And
stuff.
if you're
that's
good
not
at
like
collecting-
built into Swift.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
can-
like,
if
you're good, like, tree hopper.
Treehouse.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a step on.
These
guys are. Yeah,
Really
sure.
good job.
It's like a switch to that.
Oh,
Swift line, so it's,
You know,
you have to
Before, I
put
think
Swift, well, like, you try to do gas. Maybe it is Swift 4 then.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
So-
yeah,
A little bit in there, I was like,
That's
you guys are great.
I do so much with editing strings.
They usually really slow
Yeah,
it
it's-
down effectively.
I just want to get to the first character.
I've been doing a lot of
So, currently you're
Native blue class.
Never
They come to a point where you do, you wanna
Because one emoji is not necessarily like one or more characters, like, and it's also not necessarily like one movie, because like the Phantom movie process, that's like 4 of the people.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like 4 of those people together, that's the Phantom.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
what I was
like,
kind of.
there's all these like different like levels of like, this is like this is like the graphene cluster, or like this is
Yeah.
like this, and then like the graphene cluster is like the, you know, that's like where you actually get the multiple movies, and that's like, you get like special characters and like join that whole time, and it's just like,
Okay.
like really,
Yeah.
The example they have is like 4 flags, and in Swift, it's a single character.
Yeah, with everybody,
Right now, they're
yeah,
making
like
it
miss
where it
stuff,
recognizes
yeah.
that
So they
those
have
are,
your team
those are supposed to be for you.
Yeah.
So, that's.
yeah, and like sometimes you want like one way and sometimes you want the other, and sometimes you want to know that like the one is the 4, and like it's weird.
What's that?
Yeah.
So we slide for work in China, you know, yeah?
Yeah,
I'm looking.
QR code support, SMS for
So here's the problem with it.
phone number is Apple ID, nice.
Yeah, look at it. Traffic cameras.
Like when it tells you like how, when Siri tells you how much time it is, well, it probably shows you like a traffic cam of how bad the
I
traffic
see
is.
you're on it.
No, that's
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing there's what I guess off the
One
bat.
like
Your computer, your program.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like snaps on your face.
It's the end.
Yeah.
It's like,
So he.
Well,
messing
no,
me
you
over
can't.
a project.
Do you all have experience with automated tests?
But yes.
Well,
very
there's
good.
Yeah, UI and.
You do also something where it does
I've had a lot of
randomize.
experience with automated
Where,
tests, but
like,
not a lot.
You have to make different faces to
I don't
optimize.
know, when something.
Yeah.
So he's, you make a series of.
So just I thought it was
I'm getting ready for
a
marketing push
Yeah,
for
then,
my app.
ask you.
that person's gonna be really
Like,
valuable.
I've got like a 220 point
You know, what I mean?
checklist
The next time you go
of
to your
things in
door.
the
There
app.
there are.
Do both your eyeballs.
I did one.
Yeah.
Really?
So the person, in order to break.
But it's
the thing,
all-
have to have
Your one.
But it's an audio
all
app.
those scores.
That's a lot more complicated.
So it's like I need pre-recorded
They should program it.
and
They should have said so
my
up
assets
front.
would
Yeah,
need
it's
like
like doing all the
files and things like
Yeah,
that.
right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
could.
they're still improving.
That's like way too.
And like
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
record in
So
a
that's cool,
UI
but-
or?
But you should
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's
that's
so
not,
awesome.
yeah.
I agree.
So for that.
So if you have
David,
questions,
because, like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
love
know,
it.
that would be the place to go.
I love it, but it didn't
The-
make sense.
like most of the places that you would have regular like unit tests, like automated tests.
Oh, yeah,
it's
just go and
like,
have it all, like, just spend
it's
money
like
on
classes.
Conversion.
Yeah, so you'll be like testing the class and you'll be like looking at the functionality for like a single function at a time. And then like with the UI test, that's, you know, where you're looking more at like flow of the app and making sure that like you can click on the things that you expect that you can click on, that kind of stuff. But with audio, that's
It is better.
like different. So
Yeah.
I really have no idea how you would test that. I guess the best way would be to, you know, like
Yeah, it
input
depends.
and output of the.
On the surface, it's pretty
I guess if you had
straightforward.
specifically the processing part, you
given
could
that
actually
it's-
maybe unit test
Oh,
that.
yeah, try to-
If you
It's
had,
very- I like
like
it.
snippets
I haven't
of
done
audio
all-
that you just like
as
throw
long
it
as
into
first
the
two
functions
apps,
and then
it was
like
all
the
Jackrabbit.
expected
David,
output.
on Tuesday's one, that was all Swift.
Sorry about that.
Swift.
Horrible names.
I'm-
Absolutely
That
horrible.
is a little bit-
David.
a little bit
I'm working on a new app now, and it's all
Hey,
in
real
Swift.
quick, so.
Does Python
I'm so
let you
glad he's the guy from my.
record audio or
that
take
game,
pictures
last
and
meeting,
music?
right, so last time.
First came out.
He had mentioned.
Swift 1.0.
Was it?
It's like,
Yeah.
well,
But it was all
Every
just,
Thursday.
and I wrote it.
and insert keystrokes and all that weird, here's the framework we use.
That was basically like what it is.
Some of our.
And I can push it, just kind of congregate.
Yeah. Yeah, been going for it.
I actually might look
Yeah,
into
it's fine.
doing like
Like,
better
we get there like
phone.
6:30.
And not necessarily like skipping the whole recording part, like starting with like, because at some point you have
And I didn't
either
have
this library actually.
data or
There.
an audio stream or something like that. And you might want to look at it specifically that level,
What was it?
like given this like raw
It's
data,
weird.
expected raw data. And then processing, you know, I think that means
Oh, cool.
and I think that
Did C++.
in theory that should
Game
work
and the tiles.
pretty well, like you should be able to.
Houston?
Yeah.
I was up in
Oh, okay.
and, our Python recordings were. Yeah, I'm originally
the
from Texas.
best books.
Cool.
My wife and I
Yeah,
got
on
a
Swift.
job.
What,
I don't know if you've ever
Come back home.
It's called Steno.
Uh,
No, this
Yeah,
is
so
my
Yeah,
first.
M-A-T-T.
Like I've got my.
We were talking about like
Right now, I'm on the
Yeah,
app
you
store.
get stuck by
Unfortunately, I haven't found
Which
jobs here yet.
Yeah, I just moved here too.
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
just haven't found
Not
it.
yet. Just the weekend after.
Yeah. Are you
But-
digital jobs?
No, I haven't actually
yes.
started applying yet.
There's a Facebook.
Digital job.
But it does live transcription
There's a Facebook group.
now. The new
I think
thing
it's
is
supposed to be
that
about a year ago.
you can import.
Are you,
Okay.
you have lots of ways.
Yeah, about 2 years doing
Well, see, I have no programming background.
Audio tracks from video.
Starting to
Oh,
switch.
and I still do
Anything, subtitles.
remote work for.
Yeah,
I'm a
Python
Get a lot
I used to live in
And
Japan.
the magic sauce is that it lets
Yeah,
you.
like,
all
I
type
think
of
I-
programming.
Yeah.
I made like 90%.
So they come in these pairs.
But they
I
have
just feel like
like
there's
That's really cool. So
that's
what's
from where I just loaded up.
It's like, yeah, recorders,
I don't know if I should really concern about security
videographers.
stuff. It's all client side, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You wanna do iOS?
Works too
Yeah,
much,
I
but
haven't kind of jumped in.
I don't
Okay.
have,
Like Swift one.
yeah, there's just things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about.
So
There's
there's a,
Sounds like.
yeah, they have mixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So this one,
That's how I.
Like whenever you do a request,
Find
it
device.
gives you
instead of programming emails with Swift, they kind of go ahead, one builds on the other.
Password, one for.
Yeah, in theory, that's
Together, it's
not
like
hard
this.
if-
Okay,
because
so
it's
that
a
failure,
model,
like,
so
tells you why it failed.
models.
He writes in such a way that
Package,
it works for
Try to
me.
use it,
all
I didn't understand how to use
include a few
I
specific
understand the way
models
he
for like
presents
medical
things
models.
better than most officers.
Ah,
These are my two Bible.
So June 21st.
I'll actually look at this.
They're
Oh, it's so
having
cool, there's also like
a,
conference
it's not too far from
levels.
here, but, it's really nice.
That he has,
It's,
so
he's
the
got a
conference,
bunch of
it's
libraries.
65%.
Yeah, keep track of that.
Speaker levels now.
And they should
Which is
give
something
you like,
that's only
just
used
this
in
one day. I just,
I thought I saw something come out, like where it was like
in the conversation.
placement.
Yeah, there's a.
Is that, I mean, use that instead?
Well, I don't use that because I do
Do you have that
everything
stuff
strictly
now?
safe.
Oh,
Yeah,
Swift,
it's on
yeah,
the road,
that.
but it's pretty easy to have.
But,
Yeah.
but I probably would,
Yeah.
probably would. It's all happening really
That's what
fast.
he
I'm
was-
sure.
I think we just launched the basic
Transcription
transcription in the summer, and then I found people who were getting close to where I was at.
Yeah.
The
Which was wondering about it.
I can't Wi-Fi.
Okay. Need them
It's
both.
nice in the time that it's been, not only
Sure,
is
don't
downloaded,
worry.
Oh, yeah.
but also thought like in-app purchases, because I get charged by.
They have one
I've
that's
been
about
about
2
2
months.
I went to the first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Like I made an app.
I got a couple
that
of
uses,
No, no.
Spotify SDK. And I didn't want to build out their whole music player, so I just had it like link out to Spotify if they have.
I heard that's gonna be on the device doing job processing. I don't know, I don't know
Is that a, I don't know,
some machine
is that like
learning
a,
that's like
going
relatively deep, but
how
other
does,
stuff is like.
you know, how is that
like,
really
I think the fact
It's
that
free to
the
go.
default
Is that like
models
a-
they talk about
It's right
lame thing to do?
somewhere.
documentation.
No,
Yeah,
and
it's
speech.
still need here.
Also, I
Like,
do
it's
see a
like
good way
Oh,
to.
yeah, they do it now where you can't just hit connect
Yeah, so,
anymore.
We
don't have any connections.
people send in their
There's no-
text messages and the songs they want, and
So
so
I'm
they
gonna
will
go
just
higher
have
free.
So,
And so I think
Those are-
they have like a
Well, I
built-in.
think
Maybe
maybe
for those
thousand
different.
I don't know.
It's
It's
an
like-
airplane thing. I think it's an airplane thing.
Now,
I mean, I don't know if it works.
now when you receive that, like, proprietary.
They did demo.
Oh, yeah,
but
I've been doing it.
They wanna force people to like.
I've been in Japan
Okay.
I was for 10 years.
The fact that
They don't use it.
Oh,
So like,
high level.
Yes.
reply?
I'm not trying to make any money.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, no,
There's
I
like,
just,
It just came in there.
Personally, I don't like it.
Yeah, I
It's logging.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, it looks like.
Good talking to you, yeah.
So, so I would think the home pod.
Hey, thanks again, nice to meet you.
HomePod works.
I haven't met you, but
Ty.
Ty, all right. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for
It's kind of
listening
like
to
the,
me
you know,
ramble.
yeah, like the Echo.
It's just like-
Proprietary to Amazon Music.
Yeah, but I've got.
iOS and Bluetooth.
It's nice to use your.
Oh, you take it over, right?
Yeah.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you too. Take
Yeah.
care. Good to see you.
It looks kind of like Facebook and.
Yes.
And by recruiters.
Oh yeah, I was in a choir, so.
So
now
it
what-
might
now what do we do?
doesn't hurt.
I can only
guess.
reply.
It wouldn't let you.
I think we.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
If it'd be something very quick that nobody has to. Texting.
Yeah.
Like, you look at my profile, does it say?
It's more.
Or do you work?
I work at
You-
a software
you like,
company.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
I work
I was trying to
That's
add
actually
something.
my
I
part.
couldn't see
Well,
it.
if I have like a song I wanna play.
From Florida.
Text it to a certain
Just
number.
office.
Yeah,
My profile.
yeah, I was working remote.
You do your iOS?
Is that what you're doing?
Not there,
No,
so they actually
so,
don't do any iOS
the
development
idea
right
is-
now.
Now is
Look at this.
But I do
It's
a lot
hidden up
of
The
here.
whole reason I put it in, an app is just so I could go and invite
It
people.
was,
and then send them a
yeah.
text
Where do you-
message.
it was a,
I worked at
Parse Server.
in Colorado.
It actually goes
But
out.
my wife
Oh,
got
So
on
then
the
you
job
would
now,
provide a
so
text
we
message
make
and
move
whatever you
songs
had in
like
that
Cool.
reply would,
that's where.
like, they would take that song title and just add it to the
Yeah,
post.
I just moved here from Tokyo,
That-
Japan,
So
and I work
just
in an app.
my idea on how to do that
Yeah.
would be, if you have like a song you wanna play.
I'm gonna start looking
yeah,
for
like
jobs
this, so you would go to share, and then
I don't.
for the
know
phone
how many
number,
iOS jobs here,
the
so.
number,
Yeah.
like your server. You're like,
Yeah, I
server
don't
phone
know.
number, and then like text
I
that,
just have iOS.
and then it'll be able to look in there and get
My background's
the
in
song
Java
and then add it to
or
the list.
C++.
But,
Oh, yeah.
Java was.
So I mean, that's the way I was
Yeah.
thinking.
How do we know
That's
we're
not
good?
like everyone would have to have
Did you
Spotify.
try to
It's
connect?
usually like
So I mean,
backend
No.
website or
The
like
nice thing
other.
It was,
like, Spotify has
so
a guy that'll just
everything I
parse
worked on
like
in South
any
Code,
text that you
it
pass
was
in. So like,
more
So you would
maintenance.
have to open
On the C++
no,
side.
you just say like, Hey Jude
Yeah.
by the Beatles,
Client,
and would
there we
like
go.
find that song URI.
Find the problem, let us know,
The main.
and fix it. And I primarily did Python there,
Yeah, I-
automating the tests.
I
which
mean,
basically
the technical parts
scripts
of it are,
running the
like,
C++
I-
code to
Gotcha.
make sure it hit all the
It's just like-
verifications.
I'm gonna send you the link to those.
I don't know, like I'm sure there's things I'm
Oh, thank
missing.
you so much.
On my
So
own,
when you get the
on
link,
iOS,
it's got
Android,
the picture of him, but it's the top two books.
Watching it, but.
When
the-
maybe I
but
should just
really
watch
like
it.
Yeah, programming iOS 10, fundamentals.
idea.
iOS 10.
They get that media
He's
feedback.
basically done the same thing
Yeah.
for every
I
iOS.
think
So there'll be an iOS
Yeah.
11.
Oh, yeah.
Soon.
Really cool.
I'm sure
Controls,
you get
and
Yeah.
Craigslist sent me a.
this is my second
That
year.
is-
So,
I found my address.
experience.
Yeah.
What's the source
Kind
code?
of,
So basically, it's like a trail.
One is and one is more about how iOS works with Swift.
So
It's
it's
a really
one
deep
store.
dive. It says on the cover it's a deep dive reviews,
You apply for a
like
zero
controllers,
just
like
like
frameworks.
company and
So it's basically like
Like,
Swift without all the
like obviously it wasn't as like
Right.
Yeah.
It's raw,
So the
array.
one is,
Yeah.
here's how Swift works.
So you never know.
Is that like
All
terrible
that.
for battery life? Like
Here's how you're gonna
some
use,
other way?
here's how you're gonna make
I have a couple
it.
bad recruiters.
Okay. The foundation.
Yeah.
One particular, I felt like the interview went well, face to face.
Is that like more?
Yeah.
They said, okay, we'll let you know by the
Oh,
end.
okay.
Well, that was like 4 weeks
Battery
ago.
and better.
And the, I think like,
For latency.
I didn't
See if
do
that
it,
link, I sent
but the
it, sent it to
recruiter
you.
is kind of like, oh, maybe you still got it. I'm like, just tell me,
Yeah.
like, and
Just Python, I'm like Python.
Sometimes, I don't know, cause like every company's different, cause like I know we, like,
Like that.
when we interview people, we,
But yeah, okay, that's.
for the most part, know
Have you
whether or not
looked at
we
the
wanna
hire?
hire them by like
.com?
the time they leave.
I did,
And
but
that's not necessarily like, that's like us,
That's
like.
like-
I wanna list myself as.
But then like,
Is
we
that
also
like-
have like, scenarios like,
I guess most
recruiters
Position,
actually
you can
like,
only choose one.
I actually
Yeah, yeah.
don't even know how half the
Like,
process works, how they
right.
negotiate.
Maybe I should
For
check
your
that
parts,
out.
But it is.
I suppose it's good.
Yeah.
Socket
Yeah.
thing, and-
Well, also
The
something.
great thing is you have
I need to reach out to a recruiter,
Yeah,
like I
you
said.
figure out for it, but
That's
don't
kind
think
Have you had any luck with that? Luck with that, or have you just
You
heard
say,
good
if you,
things?
any,
Put
like,
myself
on
out
any
there.
plans,
Yeah.
if you make a change,
I
it's
didn't have any luck.
it takes a day to
My problem
set the
is
server,
do,
and the server
I'm looking
tells
for
all the
remote work.
connected
they used
sockets
to do,
about
That's
it.
not
weird
too
thing
hard
where
to
they
They
like
all
tell you
But
that you're
also
hired,
part-time,
but then
because
like
you've got
you
a
weren't
living
there,
room.
well,
And it's
you
there,
were
like,
like,
and so
finding
parts
like
you
a
have
match
to
for a
think
team.
about.
I'm
And
the
now
stay-at-home
you can,
iPhone
like,
program.
Right.
So,
All like,
alleviate
get
the
him
problem
ready
where
for
like
school,
someone
pick
could
him
be
up after
hired
school,
but never
like,
actually
take him to
start working.
all his
They were like,
activities and
oh,
stuff, and his
well,
mom's
we'll
pretty
just
busy.
not hire you, but
So I've only got like
like,
about 25
you
hours a
know,
week that
you
I
did
can
well
work.
and we were just looking for a
So
team
it's
for you now.
been a bit of a
I have
challenge
a
to
friend
find
who
a
like,
You wanna do
in a
part-time
part-time
Google and like,
work.
more
for
like
August,
that. Except July was like, so what you do
And it's-
team, so he's
it's
like,
interrupted
for like
part-time
August,
work.
just waiting for them to
And
find
then
like.
it gets even worse, like,
So it's like, yeah, like we
we
want
still have
you
lots of family
probably,
back home.
but like we need to find a spot for you, and then
So
we'll actually
him and
find
I,
everyone.
he's got school
It's
now.
like, okay,
And
like that's
June,
exactly
I
what
go
I'm
down there
talking
for
about.
just-
they have like socket.
It doesn't really affect me that much.
So I don't know, so
because I'm gonna
sometimes
just
I might be
continue
like,
to work.
there's just not a
Anyway,
day.
if I was working for somebody
Cause
else,
that's another thing, cause
I'd
recently
continue
we
to
were
work.
like, went into a hiring
It's-
freeze.
It's
So it's like
interrupted
people,
a bit,
and we
because I
like
gotta
said,
deliver
yeah,
and
we're hiring this
apps
person,
and
it's
stuff,
great,
in the middle,
and
pick
but
him up
we're
in the
like
middle
gonna
of
hire
the
somebody,
day.
so they can't like hire that.
So it's not always taking
And
us
so
hours
they're-
to do is what it
I'm
is.
along because, you know.
Right.
It's hard for me to fit into a regular
Yeah.
Yeah.
work schedule, so
Uh,
working on my own
hopefully
stuff
something
is,
works out.
is
They'll
better.
probably want to do
Yeah.
So, hey, you know, some good uses.
Yeah, like, I really wanna stay
I'll have to
here.
look through my bookmarks.
My family's up in Fort Worth.
It was,
So that's
you
not
got
bad. So we're like,
IBM?
my wife has a good job
It's
here,
a good
but
forum for
things
business
are
owners.
starting soon.
News,
We'll have to move up and
It is cool cat. You're awesome.
What did you
It's,
say?
it's really exciting, so it's just a really good.
But you randomize
It's
your.
just like Craigslist, you know, it's
Right.
ugly but
Yeah.
perfect.
She
Yeah.
has connections there too, she might be able to leave. It would be.
So is that just a side
It
project?
would
I
suck.
mean,
It's
Yeah.
like
The easy thing
a
is,
Reddit.
once
Like,
you get
parking
going,
advantage
that
is
would just
a
be
lot
I
like,
would things come to the top, then they can
I
form
think
posts.
while he was still living in.
There's a lot of stuff,
last year.
like a lot of
And
people.
then
if I'm not here
using it as like
next
a-
time.
You can set targets at lots of different places, because it's using, you know, IBM.
Yeah, trying to push.
And IBM's back, it's like,
Oh,
the server
yeah.
side, it's.
I'm a friend.
You know, Udacity actually jumped on that.
Did you watch the countdown?
Yeah. This one was
Yeah.
very boring.
Like
Yeah, I mean, it was really
I
nice.
felt like there weren't that many new
That was
features
really
that I was
nice.
excited about.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Do an X.
I want an iMac
Change
Pro
the
now.
scenery.
It's like
I
that.
didn't
You
know
go
that.
Okay.
So I need to buy
It's
one.
funny, even actually,
now because
when I was in
I just
Colorado,
turn mine in.
everyone was
Well,
making
you
files.
have like the.
I had two files like
the
that,
hybrid
and
apps.
both of them moved to Florida.
I mean, it sounds really good, I haven't,
But
I want to, I went into the Apple Store. I want
that's
to.
the
I know,
only connection I have
like,
with Florida.
like,
Never
They
did.
don't have the new ones yet.
I think Instagram,
The,
they're
Why?
which new
different
one?
The one
audio
that,
screens.
the MacBook Pros got announced
Yeah, like,
yesterday.
Oh,
Facebook
the MacBook Pros,
And I
yeah.
think there's supposed to be
Yeah.
some stores
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Like they said,
it's-
basically.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to order one.
Well,
It
I want
was
like
like, well,
low
you
end
can
one.
have instead of having like
The
two
low end
iOS
Pro,
and
but I wanted to be
two
like
45 pounds, you're
Yeah,
right.
when you
So,
said
yeah.
this,
I'm
it's
just
like,
gonna-
but they said it's not really less.
If you do any
Because just
customization
go
like
through
that,
lots
you
of
can
stuff for
wait.
each platform.
Yeah.
But
You can just order it off the
I guess
store.
it's like really different.
So he
It's
was,
humid,
he went in
so-
one time when
Yeah,
he,
so
Probably,
it's not really less
85,
but there's.
like,
like, I need
degrees
I need
in
something
summer,
for like.
but we also very humid.
I think it makes a lot of sense if you have
You
like
went
an
in
app
one
Is
time.
that for it? Does that get
pretty
caught?
like complex, so you're
I
not,
think
it's
our
not,
coolest day.
it's not.
They need to
Easy,
take
like one person with the camera all
Yeah.
those. And it's good,
But I don't
like,
think
so.
there's just one copy of it,
Like, I think
but it's like, it's
Yeah.
like one person can explain the whole thing, and
Yeah.
then two copies of it.
You're here my whole life.
One person,
Oh,
Like, I'm out in
yeah.
Colorado,
Yeah.
14 days.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it was,
Right.
I just felt like it was like, it's like
Um,
-5 one day, and I was like, I've never seen the negative.
Yeah.
That was,
Well, that makes
So, I mean,
sense.
it's
took some good news.
Yeah, I was just
We'll keep
about to
around.
say that, like, I think they're pretty,
now,
pretty good.
Make the on.
I know
That's
that
like
nothing
the
about
$7
So
Yeah.
my particular position.
Yeah, because there's been things like
the-
that. It's not like we're
There's a
filing
branch that's
Facebook
a lot
like
smaller,
here.
and
you need a clearance.
When I hit Command
I'll
R,
just say,
it's, I wait about a second.
They don't like.
When I
don't
saw
want
the biggest
clearance,
difference
Go
ever.
for
Yeah.
it.
There's a lot of,
Yeah, and I think with those, they like, they start,
there
start
wasn't
with
any
the, like,
positions down here that
like the
Everything
marketing and sales of it, and then they're like, we'll figure out where the main technicals work.
I way more.
I think in November it'll be.
You're good for selling
Mac
stuff.
Pro.
But
You're in,
I hit yes on
most of the
everything
stuff-
down the list.
Most of the stuff I've seen.
Max
they'll
Exos.
let
That'll
you
last you till 2020.
1 terabyte
on
SSD.
while you're getting it.
They always have
16
like
gigs of
time
RAM.
behind,
So
try to
Hit
catch up.
the
I was
faster
lucky, I guess, in
processor.
a way that I didn't have to go through that process.
Maybe that was what it
It's-
is.
yeah.
Could be added.
But it is kind of, it
And
is,
it's kind of like Google,
It's
for
awesome.
getting a clearance.
Like I
It
was,
reboots
They want you for this team,
20 sign.
but you need a clearance,
Back
you can't work until you're.
Yeah.
And
The only
they have
thing
this
that-
program where
I guess
it's just a bunch of people
That's actually the
waiting for their clearance, and they literally
They can?
have nothing to do. And they just
Give battery power.
have to show up
It doesn't
every
last
day.
that long anymore.
Nice.
Physically,
And I can't wait for that.
kind of
and they can work on their own project.
new, like, playground and stuff
And there.
too.
Like,
So now,
No, like,
it's
automatic.
Like, it would be fine for like a week, but
Like,
now
I
they're
think the
crazy.
thing it is, even if you're
And it's like
foreign,
sending
it's just
but-
red squigglies everywhere.
right
like,
to replace it.
So
Everything is
find
horribly
you
broken.
class-
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is different.
Yeah.
And they had
They're
that
open
breach
one on your own.
not too long ago.
It's not this new one, I've done old
myself.
MacBook
For
Pros.
an older one, they're
I forget the form names, but to apply for clearance, you have to fill out
I was
a
terrified
form,
of
and
it.
that data
Like a desktop, I
was
could take
leaked.
parts.
Mishaps
I
like, from like
changed
now and
Put in a
from like
bigger
20
drive
years
to
past,
feed it
like
somewhere.
anyone you ever filled out.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was like,
I
now
think
just
like I have
I
like.
do this, and I was watching this YouTube thing on another screen.
Yeah.
Just
Well, yeah, blame you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And then I had that object
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Well, then I had
From,
and then I had one
back
left.
to paper.
Oh, no.
I'm already like,
That's
so we're-
that's exactly what I did. I don't know.
Did you get by without
Some of my
it?
friends
It
were
worked.
going through Raytheon was going through the
So,
process. and it's just-
yeah,
I'll never do that again. Figure out the development.
Yeah, I started to, I'm like,
Yeah.
I think it won't be that rough.
Yeah, Raytheon too.
No,
For
it's fine,
CD
because it
drive.
is, it's still iOS.
It might be a swap.
Yeah, oh no,
But
Yeah,
it's also like, and it's also kind of like,
turning back.
I've been
We're
doing
not gonna know.
objectives
There's another
for 5
company
years.
that
Yeah.
the name
I
of
switched
it,
to the,
they
like,
contacted
video.
me
Yeah.
initial
Yeah.
screening for whatever.
We're like,
yeah, I listened to a podcast of.
It was an old plastic white one.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't
Guy was talking
have
about
a long
he had done
lifespan.
optics and so for so
Yeah,
long.
I wish
Those ones-
I would
Do you
have
want to do
found
iOS?
this.
And like they,
Oh, really?
they
It picks
did-
apart, but he
Are
had
you
a rough,
looking to?
a rough time with the
I'm
update.
not active
And then also
right
the-
now,
so-
but I'm not
Quick.
opposed to.
You didn't see me.
There's a difference.
2012 or.
People that had
I
optics.
did Android for my senior
So
project.
you have more interviews lined up?
I much prefer.
I'm waiting.
I mean, you're
It's
doing
really
it now, so it's just.
Well, okay, I haven't done it.
I think it'll be fun to learn about.
When I did it.
Yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
not just, it's not just,
Okay.
It's different.
it's a really good language, yeah.
All my friends do, like, everyone
Just
at
made a jump.
Raytheon, like, they love the Android, they.
You know, there's like
I like the
a month where he was doing
Yeah,
this kind of squinty face.
So my contract is
Yeah, I
up
don't know.
now, actually, so now
And
I'm
now
on
he's like
T-Mobile.
totally.
I don't really care. But I have a cheap phone bill,
He's
but
really
once I find a job, I'm gonna switch back.
There's life, there's, you know, another thing that's
But yeah,
You work with any other languages?
I like Google, but I don't like the.
With Java,
What
script,
about having your own app ideas?
Like for Parse.
I have an iPad.
If you
Usually viable.
Like when I'm
for
at
example,
home,
if you want
Wi-Fi,
to
I'll just face
validate
that.
changes before the server saves them, you can write JavaScript code that will check that. Or if you want,
No, it's Nexus
have, like,
6.
Are you familiar with?
basically any other things that the server, the normal server you'd expect.
I like the wireless charges.
Any
So,
customizations.
But
Actually, this case,
yeah,
There's
there's
some
easy
that
to
in
in.
with
So
we
if
don't
you
ever
get
actually
in
have to
there.
keep them in
So if you
stock.
had like,
But
for example, like an Uber app and you want to, like,
it wasn't working very well, so I
create a new reservation.
Here.
It would maybe need to find a driver, there's no
Yeah, I
like,
can't wait to go
there's
back.
no like, the client can't find a driver, that's just,
But
doesn't work, it's like tell the
I
server,
might
okay,
break
find a
down
driver,
to make fun of
reservation.
one student.
And you can do it like, whenever a client creates a new reservation request, then it might,
There's no risk there.
the server can then, find like
Hello.
the appropriate driver for
Yeah,
that
like in a
request,
warehouse.
and then, send the client,
There's a sale.
reservation for the driver.
Yeah.
So then that's
almost
something
got
right
away
there.
with using Chromebook throughout my bachelor's. Because you can put Linux on it. And with Linux, it's, I had a
Yeah, that's what.
really $150 Chromebook. No, that one was. Then I got a $350
But you're clear
one.
about
That one,
The web.
the only limitation, hard drive is 16 gigabyte hard drive.
Android, everything.
Don't use
So
it.
if
Bring the
you
store
take
is just a
the
lot of
Chromebook with a big hard drive, I can make that work for you. And you can make.
Can I do the job here and find that?
But with that 16 gigabyte hard drive.
This could be a horrible working
Yeah,
Okay.
finally got that.
Yeah, probably.
Those guys, they show each
No, great,
got
so
that.
do your customers know that?
Yeah.
Like they're
Trying to
waiting
jump
to
on
use
you.
them?
Trying to jump.
It's what they
water
want.
trainer, so
Mainly,
trying to
I
jump
would
on
like
that.
to games,
It's at a
the
good
way I like
price.
to make.
Being creative,
You consider that for the market?
training
I don't
sort
know if I
of.
necessarily have anything.
Someone's hit my ceiling or my
I've done a lot of
Yeah.
done a fair amount of like doing stuff with security.
We have
Guys,
many
like,
places.
I know someone who's just cool.
We were talking about the difference between breaking into mobile versus breaking into web. It just seems harder with mobile. In that,
Yeah,
like,
but yeah.
web dev, I can just look
Have you ever used
around,
like
find
Unreal?
a crappy
I
website
haven't
for
really
much.
I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah.
I'm just comfortable in that you have it, so.
I'm not sure how we'll
Yeah.
handle this.
Rinse and
Probably
repeat.
tell people that.
Yeah, so
Like those other little
They value that.
Yeah, like you can do better and.
I just bought a,
It's not like you're gonna.
because I'm familiar with Ruby, but I have to use it.
it. So you
And I bought a
For like
class
mobile,
on
people's
Unreal.
expectations of that play out of whack.
So I don't,
If you just take
I don't
some
have
random guy off the street and say.
any preference, so I was like, I'll give,
It's gonna go,
Yeah.
I
I think that's
expect
I
it
think,
for
yeah,
for
pretty much
various
the general like consensus from what I've heard is that like Unity is a lot easier to push.
Well, you get
stuff
something
to
And it's
from
like
a brand
easier
that you're not
to
familiar
use.
with, or maybe that brand.
Like
is
Unreal
way more
has a
work
steeper
than
learning
it
curve.
There's some
like,
people
once
who
you
are
start
medium
that
and a
learning
lot.
curve,
I don't know,
the
like,
stuff you
some
can see
are
in
way
it is a lot like.
Percentage
It's
expenses.
a lot more robust.
I did the
Like,
Saxon doing very well. The other
Like
ones
the
are
graphics
You can still
are.
make an app that's
Yeah,
like
the
the
shipping
bar
is
and
better.
right, like.
But the
Yeah.
warehouse, we use a
I would
third
like
party
to go
Or
warehouse.
down
like,
that route,
yeah,
and I have
that uses
some
like
C++.
AR stuff.
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
That
I can pick up C++.
stores all our stuff for us,
Oh,
like every day it's just
See,
sits on there.
Sure.
I
No, no
Costs
back.
Yeah.
roughly.
Also,
If
so
it's big
Unreal
store,
has a
they
feature
get
it's called
cooler,
Zero
they
Sense.
get coolers for a while.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I haven't
balance
gotten
there.
to it.
Yeah. You can set up no program.
It's like more or
Everything
less
they pick
like
off the shelf, they charge
Just
us
seems
too.
like drag and drop programming
Back.
type
Yeah. Then you have this database that
Most
you
of
like.
what I've heard from people who have used Unreal a lot.
It's trash, like,
They
this
find
thing
that
doesn't
they
fail.
like more
like,
often than not just use.
You can do background.
So if something
Yeah.
comes back, then
Yeah,
that's
But yeah,
shelved
there's
again,
also
and
security
they
setting
can
and front
resell it, so if
Yeah, but those are all
if it's not
configurable
something
within the
that's
dashboard.
say something, just,
Okay.
you know what, keep it.
Oh,
I use it in my
most of my
games repository
are
and
made
deploy
simple,
that.
I made a Gmail regularly.
Dashboard
We had
with
another
a,
website called
you
Rocket
already
I'm working on
make
Gallery on
an
an
API that you can connect to.
So really simple, don't really need Unreal for that,
So you already
but
jacked
I want to
Those
make
wouldn't get it.
Oh,
cooler
okay.
games
Because
Uh,
they're
just that.
just $25,
So those have been.
t-shirts that you're
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a contractor.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
She's, oh, yeah, because they were gonna do that crazy thing with the, I don't know if this is the Airstream. Yeah, they were gonna like travel the country, like build apps every month. I think we're still gonna do that probably. I mean, it takes a while. They're just renovating, yeah, right. Airstream. Yeah, we had Airstream down
You were
over. Tear apart and like.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
probably miserable in there right now, but.
yeah, it's
She does that in
like
person.
fairly.
Oh, okay. It's like,
Sure.
2 years old.
What you need to get done.
Yeah, they got like a refurbished.
Like out of.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that whole
Yeah, it's
Redoing
everything from like
All these
the
returns.
plumbing to the walls and things like that.
Yeah.
I guess they're not having one inside, but it's obvious.
Yeah,
there's- yeah,
that's swallowing up all
They
the
like documentation.
You know, you might.
I don't know.
Cool.
Charles is not sure about it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
But yeah, so Thursday, right?
Sears?
Weird.
Yeah, but they had good earnings report.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go there.
Because they cut costs so much.
Cold.
They had like a pretty good, like, you know, relative to their share price, pretty good earnings.
There's so much I
We
can
were,
put on my
we
own.
walked through that. We did it drywall screws, we were at mall, like, we're not gonna all, they just took like, there's
Oh, wait till you
nobody
get
in
there.
there,
Yeah,
except
yeah.
for like 3 groups of people.
Just might be,
They're all just
you know,
laying on a bed.
it'd save you
It's like,
hours.
yeah, this one's comfy,
That's
and
true.
it's
I
completely
mean-
quiet and stuff.
You got, it's like an
Awkward,
abandoned
maybe.
Marshalls, right?
Yeah, going in the wrong direction.
But yeah, I think they had,
That's
now,
money.
I'm trying to work
The
with
back
that pedometer to
I've-
get the
I mean,
step.
they're gonna die, but.
The last 6 months I've heard so many Sears jokes, but
Bring up an animation.
that's so funny, they just turned it on.
Yeah, they did it, but I mean, like,
They-
like that's 5 years.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you know,
Ouch. Yeah.
you gotta stop the bleeding
Yeah.
somewhere. It looks like they're starting to.
But yeah, if you look at 6 months, it's pretty steady.
They're really pushing that whole.
But I think so I think like in April they had like some good earnings, so they went up, and then like,
Is that their stock?
How do they have
You
good
don't think it
earnings?
was?
yeah.
Okay.
How do they have good earnings?
So, well, your earnings are your revenue minus your expenses, so they
Right,
cut
yeah.
the expenses a lot, and then that got them some good earnings. And like
Short term.
there's still,
Yeah.
I'm sure like if they probably like have stores in rural America where there's no other stores, so then people buy stuff there, cause there's no other competitors. And
They
you
run
st-
the entire town.
Yeah, you still need
They're the
clothes,
mall.
and you still need like a washer and dryer, and you
Yeah,
need that
that's
stuff.
true.
But
Yeah.
those areas are shrinking, and so they're becoming less and less profitable. And then like they've got like this store in like central Austin where no one goes to.
Yeah.
What do you even like, if you're a company like that and you're just dying and you just know that you're just bleeding out, like
They should
what
buy
do you do
Amazon
to
stock.
turn your stuff around?
I think eventually, like, just some of their assets get bought.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you would think that like as like whoever the CEO is, like he's got to be like looking at it and just be like, how can we turn this around?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a way to turn it around. It's just not necessarily going to be easy at all. Or maybe they just missed the maybe
Yeah, I
just
mean, they got
missed their
21
chance.
billion in revenue.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not enough.
But the crazy thing is, so they're
Oh, they have those auto shops too. That's probably.
Was it real quick?
Sears.
Oh, Sears, Jesus.
Yeah, when was the last time I even like thought about Sears?
We have a new director and he like came from Sears. I'm like,
Macy's is
smell of
completely
that.
changing
Yeah.
their
What
stores.
company you work for?
Just have a checkout at the exit. Macy's, like, it's basically gonna get like Target. You get on.
But yeah, they're
How you doing?
But then again, there's so many times I'm in a department store and I'll have something and be like, wait, where do I?
Fund disclosures.
So look, this is their earnings, so like, if you look at annual earnings, it's negative, so like 30 billion revenue and negative 1.6 billion earnings and
Whoa,
negative 1 billion.
cash.
And then, but then, if you look at the second quarter 2017, 244 billion positive earnings.
Wow.
But you can see like their
Yeah, they
revenue,
just
their
covered
revenue,
it.
their revenue is still lower than it's been any quarter, but they are,
I
they did earn 244 billion.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I'm from
You
Canada.
know who's surprising me that much of liquid cash I heard about recently was
So I'll be back.
like they have
I want to do it.
Yeah.
like 30 or 40 billion liquid just sitting there, like
Source
they
control from within Xcode.
they could release
Lots of people
a
do
lot
that.
of virtual boys.
Get or whatever.
Around
They
there.
use Xcode.
Yeah,
And then they do all the get
They
stuff.
kind of need that
Yeah.
cash on because they definitely
Industry.
they have some
Yeah,
goods
I
and
mean,
some
game,
businesses.
You can do that,
game
just fine.
industry is just
I
like,
want to show people how much.
it's all about the
Just
one hit,
another
every like
reason
the,
Xcode.
the hits kind of save you, but you gotta
Yeah.
lose lots of them.
I thought
That's
this
really
Switch
cool.
and Zelda's awesome and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works pretty good. I hardly ever have to do
There's
that.
nothing, there's absolutely
Outside.
nothing.
Mario Kart now.
Yeah, there's a remake of the last
Yeah,
one.
it's the
But
same.
in it's still awesome.
There's a new site,
But-
oh shit, get.
Yeah, I mean,
The
the
Switch
Switch
is
is
really
really
good.
cool, but
Yeah.
like,
check it out, it's just,
Yeah.
6 or 7 of the most common oops
The Wii U was,
and fixes.
Oh, nice.
the Wii was
That would be
like a
really
huge
handy.
change.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then
Are they constantly updating that with us, or
apparently
It's sort of like
no
gosh
longer for
darn
them.
block syntax.
I heard
It's
a
really that
big
one.
part of what.
Sure, I'll put it on there.
It was
I'll
a
take
lot
it.
of people
It's
started
called
Wii U and it
fucking
was some
block
DA
syntax.
systems
Okay.
that were so,
Okay. So
like about the board, about the
Yeah.
battle,
So it
and then
just
just
sort of lists all the.
Wii U sounds like another.
So there was a new Wii?
Use blocks and
It's,
objectives.
see?
Yeah.
And they made a
It's a
forward
Wii U,
save you
and it was,
gosh darn
it was like a Switch, but it was on the console. Yeah,
Well, let's use that.
generation.
Well, actually,
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even
Oh
know.
shit, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you did that
They
for
knew that
innovation,
Switch,
I thought.
because they marketed.
Be
that.
very articulate.
Yeah, I think that was the thing too,
Oh,
like,
good.
did they even market the Wii U? Or did they just like release it? Okay, you're
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you get
Switch
things outside
marketing
of
a
this,
lot.
or?
I've got a lot of background
You're like, whenever I see something, I'm
teaching,
like, I don't know if I've ever seen it.
to the back, I haven't done it as a job from like,
Like, did you ever see what the
it's nice to come and
Yeah.
use.
Yeah,
It feels like teaching.
I think I've definitely did put like
And people will dig it here,
Yeah, you got a good audience.
Yeah, you're right here. Research.
Just get people to talk about it.
You're an iOS developer?
I started last year.
Okay. And
Pretty
that's pretty good,
happy to
what you do?
No, I,
Yeah,
I'm
I
in
wish.
So you're a trainer?
contract with Google, so I go out to like retail locations, or I set up these and I try to avoid tiers, and so like, there's a lot of retail, we're mainly
Yeah,
to
it
Best
went
Buy
up
back.
and down from
Oh,
like,
okay.
So team would, the
$1
GMs
to
over there, and I'll
$5.
schedule training.
So I think it's like up 20x.
We'll do, they may do it.
But I also had a friend who had lots of Bitcoin in 2011. But
Yeah,
Showcase the
now
products that are powered by
I
that.
don't
So,
know, I haven't talked to him all.
I like to get really good at training,
Yeah.
break it down, so I see other people like you, and I can tap in, so I've been
Yeah.
teaching these done something, because
I,
You
my
break it
friend
down.
bought like, Ether, like a few months ago. Yeah, he's up like over 10x right now.
Okay.
And he like
Trying to
put a
break
lot
that
of money
kind
in
of
it, and I'm just
update.
like,
There's
sell
some-
it today.
there's stuff
I got
So
out.
it's still going
they
down.
can
It's
Google a
still
lot of
going
this
down.
stuff,
I got in.
but I
just
can,
after
I find different ways of
Yeah.
using it. And then, especially since it's out in the field, I'm always
Yeah.
talking to people and
Yeah.
seeing how they're using it. I talk about engineers,
Yeah, that's
different
a-
tricks they're doing,
that's
so then I can come back and spit that information back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know if I pull it out, then type
So,
it up,
stuff like that. But then I wanted to get into programming, because I kind of hit my ceiling on product training. So far,
It's
you
to
can
make
go,
$2,000,
I have a
right?
technical background, so it's all just
Yeah.
So
product.
no, I don't think anyone knows
Yeah.
that.
So I started with Swift as my first program.
Yeah, I'm not as interesting enough person to audit.
You don't need to learn Objective-C.
And if you do this, others would,
That's all.
you get extra money in the back.
But JavaScript,
I'll pay
JavaScript will
government
be
with
my
Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's worth doing
I
something.
got one.
like
Big
that.
one.
But,
When it was like 575. So that was.
I just love the marketability.
I'm just sitting on it, but I just know
I'm a
one.
big Android person. Man, it's just so
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah, you know, it's-
The market
That's the
makes
thing, man, all of them,
money,
they just
I mean,
like-
if you can,
They
but
like sky. That's why I
Well,
like.
I
I
do
keep
Play
like
Store.
waiting for
If your app is really big,
Ether to like go down so that I can get it, but then it's just like not going down.
I've never done it.
Yeah, but it's,
Like,
why would it come back
for
up
me,
if
it
it goes
just doesn't
down?
make sense.
I mean, Bitcoin went down a lot.
watch the
a couple
keynote?
points of time, and it's back up.
So
I mean, just
yeah,
saying, like, it's
no,
all
it's-
any other stock.
There's that one.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we're
I'm,
talking
so
Well,
the
it's
reason,
different than a
well,
stock.
no, it is different
Yeah,
than stock.
it's
Well, the
not
reason I
like
go,
stock.
I mean, it's
It's
based purely on like
almost
what people
90%
value it, right?
yeah.
So like,
Those other
there's a lot of hype
10
around
or
it right now,
15%,
so that's
they're
why
on
it's valued
phones
very
that
high.
can't
There's
be
a lot of hype
upgraded.
around
That's
it.
just
Right.
because the hardware.
And then
lasts
all of a
so
sudden,
long.
like, people will get scared and they'll say, oh, this is all
iPhone
hype,
4s.
and then
They're
it'll come down,
upgraded to
and
iOS
then it'll be like, okay,
That's
so
why
it's
we're
not
not
all
there.
hype, like,
Yeah.
there's actually a lot of really cool stuff, and
Or it
that's
goes
where
down and
it
stays
stays
down for like 3 months and everyone's like, okay, fine, we'll go back to
And
Bitcoin.
whatever the latest,
Maybe,
it's
maybe
only
not.
like 7%.
Ether, there's.
Well, Ether's a lot
It's a
harder.
mess, man.
It's a mess.
Like,
Look at the
And then
Samsung S8.
I don't
Just
know.
all of a sudden get
The dimensions are all
I
different.
don't know,
The
all I
six,
know
the
is
way
that,
people hold
yeah, I
it,
mean, the
and the way
main
you
thing,
interact
is like
with your
Ether's
app.
got like a very
Okay.
like
Yeah, it's
specific
different. There's all
use case
kinds
that's
of-
like way different than
Very
like Bitcoin, like they have the whole like smart contracts thing.
Yeah, those different.
Which like I
Each
don't know
manufacturer
a lot
keep
about,
us with
but
different
all I
dimensions
know
of
is that
phones and how they hold.
yeah.
Well, it says
No,
that-
that's why, yeah, Ether is a good option.
It says that on their homepage, right? It says like
Yeah.
smart
To a
contracts
degree.
that
You
no
got
fraud
1,000
possible.
different ways.
Yeah,
So
well, so
like not
basically,
possible.
You know,
so
Like,
the
not
foundation-
Exactly, that's what I was like,
You know,
well, so the
iPads,
idea is that
now
you
you
could
got
have like, so
the
say you like wanted to like
screens,
bet
so
on like a
something that
basketball game or something, like you could
used to
have
just
like
run on
a
the
smart
iPad,
contract
and
that says
assume
that
it was always
if
full
this,
screen.
you
Now
know,
it's not. It
like given
has
this
to run
outcome,
like an
like
iPhone.
this person
Yeah,
knows
so-
like this person,
And
like however much, like
the,
point or whatever.
adaptability
And then like when the
and
contract
auto
gets like
layout stuff
fulfilled,
is
then it like
so good, you
automatically
don't have to
does
worry
the,
about
the
much
like.
How does it
access to that.
determine?
It's just all done. If
Um,
Is it like looking at a
like
web
just-
page or something?
It's like
Doesn't
how,
matter
it's
how
like
it's
how
run,
programs
it
are.
works.
It's like you like write programs for the.
And I hear that's all good.
It's like an exchange sort of thing, you're talking about like someone
Equivalent of
wants to
auto
trade
layout.
this for this,
Whatever that
and
is.
when
Yeah.
when somebody comes in and meets it in the queue,
Exactly.
you match these up, boom,
Yes.
and then the other
Yeah,
way,
so it's an
and
actual-
order
yeah,
transaction fee.
Yeah.
Oh,
We charge the
yes.
transaction,
I
like
have no idea.
Coinbase.
But we're
I don't-
down to
yeah, I
the
know.
tab.
But do you like put code in there that like checks a web page or something to determine
yeah.
you're in the game or something?
You can do
That's what's
anything,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I mean, that's, right, like, that's just an example, you can make it.
There's a lot of Android stuff that
Actually, the only thing I
now Apple's
paid
like the
for
Siri with a
was
watch.
public.
Yeah.
Did you see that keynote of that?
America's Park Road was like on their
About
site,
the
because they don't accept any other form of
picking
payment.
up your different, so much
They let you cash out,
but the different
but they go
cards
take American currency directly.
on the other watch. So basically like it's kind of tapping into like the news is already relevant to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
my God, that was
It was so great.
like looking back on
Yeah.
that site, like it was just an incredible.
Where were you?
Like, did you play Rush Poker?
No, I'm a
Rush,
pilot.
where you get down to the
Oh,
one table,
okay.
play hand,
Work on a-
you're playing with 1,000 people, and you'd be sat at a table.
I've done some web stuff in the
We
past,
fold,
but this was kind
Takes
of
you up from
just
that table, throws you to
personal
another table,
project.
9 more players ready to go, deals it instantly. So it was like,
Okay,
you fold
and you're
like
still
that,
working
and
on it.
it's like-
Yeah.
It's an app you're gonna ship at some point?
Yeah, it's
And
pretty,
low.
it's like 90% of the way there,
Yeah,
but
that was so
there's all these
fun.
things that like
Those poker,
you don't
the
know, you
tournaments
don't
they have.
know, like, I wasn't
Play with real
sure, I was
players.
asking him about
I got a shirt one time.
how to gracefully handle the
Pros.
failure.
I got lucky. I wasn't supposed
Do you
to
have to
win.
worry about security at all, or, these are things that coming from the website, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Didn't have all the money.
Is that
Was it,
that's your
was it that, but was it like,
like,
wasn't there some like
RDCC
government thing,
before you should
like government
It's
regulations?
it's just a library.
It was legal
Making
for us to
it
play
easy.
as citizens, and it was illegal
I looked
for
at
us
it,
to put money,
I found, some.
to try and put money on it. It was illegal for the
It sounds like it's
payment
got some very
processor
graceful,
to
like it makes it easy to have like an error
take
block.
an American's money.
Success block, so.
Like
that sounds
into the
pretty
poker.
nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the payment processors all backed out, like, we're not doing this is sketchy, so full plus, they
I don't
made
know
their
if
own
you, if you integrated it all
payment
first, or
processor.
you just-
Haven't.
Made it look like people were buying golf balls.
I think the whole NSURL section.
Yeah, it was basically
Yeah,
like-
some
Fine.
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
there.
Um,
It's only said,
Yeah.
They
so
thought that
that's
was gonna
just-
work.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm using.
It did for a while.
So when casinos
Okay,
are
cool.
I
regulated,
think so.
like in the
Yeah.
US, they have to.
And maybe
typically
you
have
can just
cash
tell
on
me
hand
real quick,
for
because I
every
know,
check in the
this is the
casino.
kind of thing that would
So
make
that
me.
if they said, we're not gonna see it, like, you're just standing there with
Same
$10,000
open,
chip,
like, so I'll
$10,000
have my
chips.
little,
Like,
you've gotta go.
you can keep your money.
But-
Full to poker wasn't doing that. They, like everyone's
Like,
chips
we'll go
they had on the side that
player,
they had like
and
on
then
pumped that into marketing
go back.
and
Yeah.
expenses on
And,
building a crazy rush poker thing.
I'm just using a segue.
Yes.
Then when they got busted, they didn't have money to pay out. But
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I go,
yeah, I had a friend
when I
who
go out
put that on
again,
there.
it's like
45.
Yeah.
I didn't really do that.
But I
Seems like a
know,
lot.
it's like I'm probably supposed to be passing something in the
Yeah, I never put
segue,
much money into it, but it was
or something.
I never even thought about
Yeah,
how
it's just
like
one of these
well
things.
made that software
So,
was like way
You're
back when.
segueing
They had those
to
tournaments.
and segueing
Oh,
back.
no.
And just
Like,
every
if you're
time.
doing that, then you've got
Servers
this
handled it.
No, yeah,
loop
no.
going, right?
Only one time was I
Let's see
wrong,
what
and it
happens.
crashed
I'm
and they just refunded everybody.
Pressing the button,
Like
the
their
button,
insurance.
is going
That was already
to,
fine.
it's opening,
It was like about scratch.
opening, Safari to authorize with
With all that
Spotify.
money.
And then Spotify sends it back to a route that you give it.
A lot more.
Okay, you know, you give it like a-
back end.
You gotta wait for it.
The name of, yeah, the name of your,
And that's one thing I never
with
wanted.
like it's one of the route, you know.
I'll just let
And then
just let Strike do
that
that.
gets picked up by, I guess, the delegate.
Yeah, that's
Try
right.
her brain trick.
Yeah.
And then, so that delegate sends it to
Done all the e-commerce
the
stuff for
controller
Shopify.
that have,
Because they just
for,
wasn't able to check out
for
for
my music player.
products up there.
And then the button on the music player just has a straight, the simple segue back to the other controller.
You don't have to worry about
So-
that Siri.
Maybe.
That to me sounds like you've got a loop going.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Stripe has pretty good
So
Yeah.
normally
integration
you just
with
wanna
Parse too.
take your
That's
foot as
Oh,
a
yeah, they do.
traditional sort of
So it's really easy.
master
And
detail sort of thing.
UI too.
Like you pull like a transaction object
Your list of songs. and
Yeah,
tap on it.
transactions and credit
You
cards
segue to that view
and
controller.
like customer
And
IDs
then
and all
you've got
that.
a back button.
It's like really,
Yeah.
You're not doing another segue.
like 50 lines of
Okay,
code to
back,
set up
right?
Parse.
If you're using
Stripe.
if there's a
like to accept a transaction.
navigation
Yeah.
controller,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is probably
Reader.
And,
probably
yeah.
just using
No, not
utilities.
reader,
Okay, so if you
for
segue
customers
here,
to put in their credit
you
card
wanna
information,
dismiss.
for you to associate
Oh.
that credit card
You
profile
might
with
want
the
to
customer,
dismiss.
for a customer to like get their credit cards.
But
Okay.
you wanna
All that.
segue both ways.
And after
Yeah.
You're stacking things
How
out,
long have you
right?
been using Parse for?
You wanna go back and then this view controller
4
gets
years?
dismissed.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
used it a
on-
lot for a project, like projects back
Okay,
in the day.
so if I wanna maintain this,
When they
this
kind of started
music
going down, I
player
was like,
that I can
eh,
switch over
probably
to,
not, like,
I should.
Oh, you mean it's gonna keep playing?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I like.
So it's playing in the background and people can switch over to it to like pause
That's
or
actually
skip
good.
songs, but they also need to be able to go back to the other two and invite people.
I used to
Tabs.
push notifications.
Okay.
Yeah,
Back
that
to
was
that.
the, that's the main thing for it is, yeah, it was the easiest way to.
Well, I use One Signal now, which is also free,
And then
Yeah.
and it has like,
you can
if you want, it'll do
Switch
like
to
the geo
tab and
targeting,
view controller.
and it'll do,
And then when you
it'll
need it,
do, it'll like tell you like the version number of your iOS version, all stuff like that, and it works with Parse
sort of the old
Server.
way, what's gonna expose it
One Signal, yeah, and it's free.
when you dismiss.
We were using that.
So I think
Probably tab, yeah.
I'm just throwing out.
No, yeah,
So,
I think that's a
without
good,
really knowing your
I think that's a good
architecture.
People who five.
I'm treating it like it's,
So, you know, it'd be something like this,
For people
no,
who
that sounds right.
like any,
add something to their
any
cart,
app.
finish checkout, and then the car will send them a notification. We can set up a daily repeatable one.
So, you know, this might be your, this might be where you authenticate with Spotify and then once you're done.
Mixpanel
You can run
does
this guy out.
push notifications off analytics too.
And now they wanna go with
Yeah.
some friends or whatever, so that's all done on another.
They're like,
This thing's
like
still alive.
$1,000 a year for like hundreds of thousands of users.
Oh, really?
So, if you were looking at this on a storyboard, this would just have a UI tab bar controller.
Either way.
photos, And
Like
then
$300 was fine.
all the view controllers that are associated with this tab sort of strung out this way. Yep. And there's another line going
Make that
down,
back in revenue, not back in.
and all the view controllers associated with this view are
profit.
strung out here.
Yeah.
And so on.
No, that sounds great, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good, that's.
You doing it in Swift?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's about time for us.
Head out, David.
Is that company you work for?
I kind of started doing
So they actually, it's not like a consulting company or anything, we have like an HR product.
HR what product?
HR and payroll.
Oh, okay.
So we,
It's just kind of broke everything when you press the go button.
So that's what the suggestion.
It's some of the things are interesting, some of them are boring.
Oh, sure, this from this guy, he's on O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing they're really good about, like,
These two books.
you know, a lot of flexibility, like,
So this is the one,
It better be a third
it's just
HR.
about Swift.
yeah,
And it's,
yeah.
Right?
it's
Yeah.
all about Swift and there's a bit of stuff in there.
Well, great to
And then
meet you.
this one, programming iOS.
I didn't catch it
I'll
yet.
dive into views
Dive
and
into
view
it.
controllers and frameworks.
Good seeing you as always, man.
They kind of go together.
Thanks.
It's like the
Thanks.
pocket version.
Yeah, the pocket version.
Well, except this, like, put together, they're like that thick.
It was great meeting you.
Yeah, sure.
Keep in touch.
See
Take
you
care.
around. I'll be back in for the September one.
Oh, you're gone for a few months, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you then.
Okay,
That's
that's a
your
good one.
detail module. It's one of
So
the
I
things.
totally recommend
That one.
Yeah, Mad Newsread.
Yeah. You got AirDrop on? I'll send you this.
That's pretty cool. I hope that, yeah, I know like a lot of
He's
times in
got
the past
iPhone.
when we've like tried to do,
Yep. You on?
you know, more things where like it does a lot of stuff for you. I found that a lot of the time we'll end up like
And EU if you're just.
having to fight it more than, cause like we need, like it's like, it does like 80% of what you wanna do, and then like to get it to
I'm not a power
like
user.
20% is like painful, and then it ends up where you like, you're like,
Oh, I got it, yeah.
That's
you, yeah.
You know, just doing it,
Sent. Cool,
more
thank you.
traditional way,
You
but
know,
like it's still like
there's a way
really
to
cool and
test
it's really
the,
interesting, and sometimes
so,
those things do like work
one of
out
those
pretty well.
weirdos, I
And if you're
developed
doing a
a
lot
Nexus
of the same stuff, cause like I mean,
big
with that
Android
specific,
guy.
you know, like.
But I went to
As
somewhere
everywhere, and so
on a
like
watch
for that kind of stuff and.
more simplistic, I would advise to go that route to learn how to make apps for the watch just to get kind of started.
Relatively easily.
It is slightly different sort of animations.
And I think
It's working.
I think we can convince our, like,
The
our
phone?
clients that
Since
we're
I
gonna
don't
use that
own
for,
anything
and
like that,
convince them.
I found a couple codes where
Not
you
do that
can
20%.
try simulator on the
Yeah.
Tell them,
screen
like, this is not gonna help
of
your
like
business doing that 20%,
pedometer.
Yeah.
so we're gonna.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And I
Hopefully it's
assume,
like
yeah,
you're walking.
and like,
Okay.
and what I assume
Yeah.
it's like pretty easy to plug in like your own like.
Yeah.
Kind of run into that. I may just have to go buy a great
And
merchandise.
that's where most of the customization is anyways.